Hello, everybody, and welcome back to EGL Liverpool, where we have been blessed to see some of these amazing, amazing matches and display of skill. I'm Fallout, joined with the ones, the only Darko and Toby Campbell. My friends, how have you enjoyed the action so far?
It's been absolutely fantastic. We saw the first and second game. They were very exciting matchups, evenly close, maybe a bit too even from Space Station's perspective. But no, it's been the action so far has been absolutely fantastic, and we've got a massive set of action coming our way.
That is for sure. Aerox versus Regal Reserve. And those who might be tuning in, might be waking up on the American side, might be saying, who? Some newer organizations that on the European side. Two very good teams, very evenly matched teams. Regal Reserve, of course, for Spanish individuals who have performed very well this tournament alongside strikers who you're probably more familiar with coming from France. And then Aerox, a team of all members of the UK. Excited to see how the action breaks down. But first, I got to ask, we saw Aerox on display just a moment ago. We had the pleasure of casting that together. Dominating performance. Do you think that does anything? Sometimes as casters we make stories out of nothing, but do you think that does anything for them coming into this match?
I think it does. You know, they have to take confidence. From what they've just done. I mean, they also as well before that gave a very good matchup to Lucent Gaming as well. So they're going to be confident. The slaying ability, the incisive, the slaying ability that Little Ashens. We went off on that Reclaim matchup, and also Epsilon Ash. The slaying bit that they're kind of showing at the minute. They've got to take confidence from it. They've got to build on it and just take it really to this Regal Reserve team.
Yeah, well, we got a good match coming up, that's for sure. We already have the map picks and bans ready. We'll, of course, jump into some further analysis after that, but I'll show you guys how the action is going to break down. So, Regal Reserve started things off with a ban on Foundation. Interesting decision against this Aerox squad that looked pretty good on it. Dam was banned right after that by Aerox, who won that map just a moment ago. Impact, the first map that was chosen, followed by Forge Blitz. So two interesting maps we haven't seen this tournament from quite some time. Harbor and Lift were both banned, so if it comes down to it, which we all think it will, I think, it'll come down to a reclaimed map number 3. Impact, Forge Blitz, reclaimed. Your thoughts on the map picks and bans?
Yeah, that's a bit confusing at first, actually. Well, we just had a bit of a swap, actually. Aerox banned Foundation,
okay.
I see. So, yeah, that makes total sense because, you know what, Regal Reserve, we know how good they are, the Spanish team, Spanish players.
They almost beat Space Station on that map.
Exactly. Dam banned from Regal Reserve. It's clear, right? Aerox, their favorite map has been Dam. They've picked that so many times now that it is very predictable to everybody. And as such, a straight ban. Fair play to Regal Reserve. Impact we've seen yesterday a fair amount of times. Forge Blitz, more unpredictable maps that are coming in the cycle here now. Aerox ban, Harbor, yeah, okay. Makes sense to me. I think it's quite cut and dry. In terms of who this favors, I mean, I'd probably go with Aerox, just judging from experience in terms of how they performed on these maps. If it does go to Reclaimed, I think it's anyone's game, honestly.
Interesting. Hopefully it gets down to the last 3. Any thoughts, anything to add?
It says to me that Aerox have picked that using kind of thoughts around who Regal Reserve are and what they've done in previous maps. So it says to me that they've got a strategy behind it. So it's good to see from Aerox, actually. I like those picks for that. I really do.
Yeah, well said. Perhaps Regal Reserve favors the close quarters maps like Foundation. I think it's an interesting map pick and ban process, that's for sure. But let's jump into these rosters a little bit. Aerox, we saw them against Fox Esports. What is it about this roster that works so well? We always talk about the 3 veterans mixed with some new blood. What is it about this roster that works well in your opinion, Toby?
I think it's the individual experience, the raw skill. I think those 2 things alone can really trump teams, and they don't have to get too complicated with how they play. But it's also the fact that they've built up so much experience together now. Of course, Space Station members, they've been to so many Pro Circuit events, some of these players, that they're experienced in the limelight, if you will. And now they're all together. They've got relatively similar experience. You've got the top talent of the UK coming straight into their teams. They kind of coach them a little bit and whatnot. And I think we're starting to see this event and Aerox that we'd expect to have for a long time. There's some inconsistency. I think they play on their minds a little bit, and now I think they're really settling down. And they're looking really, really good.
And I was just speaking with some of the Space Station lads, and they mentioned they still think their former teammate J-Rage, who they picked up halfway through Season 1, is a top 6, top 7 player in Europe. So they have a lot of faith in him. We'll see what J-Rage can do in this one. On the flip side, Lucent Esports, the combination of 2 rosters, former Lucent Esports of Spain, as well as the Supremacy roster from France and the UK that we saw at New Orleans. What are your thoughts on this Lucent roster, this Lucent squad?
Lucent, they're a fantastic squad.
Oh, Lucent, I'm sorry. Regal Reserve we're talking about, not Lucent.
I went with it. I was like,
what are you on here?
Lucent?
I'm thinking ahead to the women's bracket final where we're going to have Lucent going against Space Station. Regal Reserve, the 4 Spanish and the French with strikers, not Lucent. I apologize. I threw you for a loop there, Darko.
I just had to go with it then. I was like, Lucent, great team. You know,
I threw you under the bus and you saved yourself. They saved me. Thank you.
No, Regal Reserve, yeah. So, they've got Regal strikers. He, for me, is a key standout performer. He's always been a fantastic slayer. He always wins some pretty important battles in really key scenarios. We saw it when they played Space Station GG on that foundation map. He was taking 2v1s, 3v1s when they were kind of pushing for the hills, and you need that in your team. You need that guy who's going to do that for you. You need that playmaker. So for me, strikers is definitely a standout performer. The rest of the team, obviously, of course, they've got experience. They are 4 other very strong slayers as well, and this Regal team are fundamentally a team who like to kind of wolf pack essentially. They like to just run in 4s, run in 5s, and I think it really works for them. So really strong roster, 100%.
Well, let's jump to it. We of course were talking in the pre-show about how this was almost like the championship in terms of how close of a match, how good of a match it's going to be. Let's jump to predictions. Darko, Elliot, starting with you. I want map count and I want some round counts as well. Who do you think is going to take it?
So Impact, I think, is going to go in the way of Aerox. I believe that's going to be a 7-4 in the favour of Aerox. Regal Reserve, I feel like the second map is Dam, I believe. Yeah.
No, second map is Forge Blitz.
Forge Blitz, excuse me, sorry. So I think the second map on Forge Blitz, from what I've seen Aerox produce on Forge Blitz, they have been looking pretty strong. We saw, obviously, they 7-0'd XCon yesterday on that map. So I think it's going to be a 2-0 Aerox, and I feel like it's going to be a close matchup, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to go, my Mystic Meg mind is tingling, my Spidey sense is tingling, rather.
Like it.
I feel like it's going to be a 2-0 Aerox, but it's going to be 7-4 and then 7-6 on Forge Blitz.
Close game.
Okay, I think it'll go to last map. From what I've seen from Aerox this event, as good as Regal have been playing, I think Aerox will clinch it just about. I think they're going to take the first map, Impact. Second map, I really fancy the Spanish steam training of shotguns on Forge Blitz, just running around the map, causing havoc and causing trouble for Aerox. I think that will be a little bit of a closer map. I think Regal can take that 7-5. And then final map, I think Aerox will clinch it then. I think their teamwork will start to show and kind of like gather what Regal is trying to do and get used to the Wolfpack, and as you mentioned. And then I think Aerox will take the final map 7-4.
There you have it. As for me, I'm 100% prediction so far. And my initial thought, my brain said Aerox as well, 2-1 in the same app order as you mentioned. I think for the same exact reasoning, actually. But and Reclaimed Aerox looks so incredibly strong on Reclaimed. So my brain says Aerox, but to be different than you guys and to spice it up a little bit, to make things interesting.
There's always one.
There's always one.
I gotta keep the 100% prediction real. I'm gonna go Regal Reserve in game number 3. Dragons, Shadows to go huge up top in that Bull Hill fight on Reclaimed. And I think Regal Reserve, they stuck it to Space Station in a much stronger way than Aerox did. They've showed some really, really strong play. I think Regal Reserve takes this one. 2-1.
Interesting. Controversial.
I like it. You gotta keep it fun here.
Reminds me of Momo. Momo used to always just vote against me.
Yeah, he did. And it seemed to work pretty well for him, didn't it? I'm just kidding. That is for sure. You guys see the rosters on your screen, of course, on the Regal Reserve side, not the Lucent side. And I realize this is a dual card, and Lucent was written at the top. That's why I thought Lucent. Regal Reserve, we have Shadows, Dragons, Swift, Dysix, and Strikers, who've been playing incredibly well, particularly Shadows and Dragons. I've been really impressed by their play. Meanwhile, with Aerox, we have Ashen's Incisive, Ash, J-Rage, and Sammy KLT. Your thoughts overall, final thoughts on this match, final thoughts on these rosters?
I think it's going to be a fantastic matchup. I believe we're going to see some brilliant plays being made by both of these teams. I'm looking to Ashen's, I'm looking to Incisive, I'm looking to Strikers. We've got some incredible slaying power on both these teams. I feel like it's going to be a very entertaining watch.
Both teams are going to step up here. It's going to be an absolute slobber knocker. I can't wait to get in this one.
Slobber knocker.
It's going to be brilliant.
Someone caption that.
We got jelly legs, we got
Shout
slobber
out to
knockers, we got all
Golden Boy.
types of vocabulary here. Most importantly, we have a phenomenal match ahead for you guys. Regal Reserve versus Aerox, a team of strong standout players in Regal Reserve. The likes of Shadows, Dragons, Swift, Dysix, and Strikers going up against a team of veterans, Ash, J-Rage, and Sammy. They have the experience. They've competed on the Gears Pro circuit for 2 seasons, and they're alongside Ashen's and Incisive, who have performed incredibly well. It's going to be a clashing of the Titans, and I could not be more excited. Toby, Darko, take it away.
Thank you, John, very much. Yes, this is going to be a slobber knocker of a game. Captioning it, Toby. Now, Toby, let's get straight into it. Your predictions, looking from an analytical perspective, this B fight. What are you looking from these two? What are you looking for these two teams today?
I think it'll be fairly close this fight down here, this side of the map. But I think Aerox eventually will come up trumps, and there's Ashen's getting the first blood on strikers. Have to be careful for the Spanish to run when they start to run through the middle, and we'll pack up.
Yeah, indeed. And look, Epsilon Ashens, they do take down 3 members of Regal Reserve. In that matchup, so now Aerox are on the assault. They are looking for the trip cap. Look at this. Epsilon Ash is running. I don't think he sees Dysix there. Dysix does a great job in making sure he doesn't let them come into his hill. And now Sammy KLT is in a bad position. I'd like to see them just maybe back up in this situation, Toby.
Yeah, perhaps so. J-Rage is sticking in there though. Aerox are fairly confident. 12-second respawn timer. Oh, J-Rage is trying to go for a revive, but unfortunately he's gone for the animation over the top. Unfortunately for him, only 2 players left remaining now for Aerox, and as such, Regal Reserve straight route to B Hill, and they will capture that.
Yeah, indeed. And now Aerox, when it looked like they were on the assault, they're now having to regroup and just back off, giving Regal Reserve the opportunity to just set up or produce a setup for themselves. But maybe Aerox, you can question, Toby, a little bit of a misplay. Why would they need to be that aggressive?
Maybe a little bit overzealous. As soon as they lost that first man from that offensive, they should have probably called, you know what, we're going to get cross from up top, just get out of that. Yeah. Of course, a little bit of a mishap from J-Rage. He probably could have got the revive off on another day and ran away, but unfortunate for them there. Well, Aerox now actually, they tried to push for the home hill instead. They've rotated back through the midline of the map, back to B, but Swift does open up a kill on Ashens, and Sammy does respond. So anyone's game at the moment in terms of actually capturing this B hill. The points are very level. It's such a great match thus far, and both teams really being proactive in how they approach this map.
Well, it's what we expected, Toby, isn't it? A back and forth affair, and one kill goes someone else. One kill will go Aerox's way, and Regal Reserve will get 2 kills themselves. It's one of those, and you love to see it because it makes an entertaining watch. And now Aerox are just trying to rotate and get the home hill. That's a great up-A from Incisive. The man himself, he is slaying out, producing some fantastic ability at the moment, and there again, he's shown why he is probably one of the best players in Europe at the moment in this scene.
And just look how close the score is, Elliot. It's anyone's game still at this point in time. This first round is coming down to the wire. And Aerox, they've been the more strategic team, right? They've started running around the hills. This is the result here. They've got 2 home hills at this point in time. Despite the respawn time of being at the shortest point, it will be this whole map. And they've actually got the score lead as a result due to that proactivity and that intelligent teamwork.
Fantastic from Aerox again. They really look like they were well set up, well drilled and well oiled in that last matchup with Fox Esports, and it seems like they're just picking up from where they left off. Aerox looking like they're going to take this round unless a miracle can come out from Regal Reserve. Maybe that's it. He take down 1 Dragons. He's going to get taken down by Ash as I say it, and that is going to be Aerox's round, 1-0.
Yeah, complete contrast between the 2 teams, right? Of course, similar opening strategy for both, but Regal, they kept sending as many people as possible towards that B hill. They were left reeling a lot of the times by Aerox continually applying that pressure on the home hill, forcing them to split up a little bit, split their forces between their own home hill and B, and as such Aerox, they had a lot more presence in the map and were easily able to rotate. Well done Aerox, and a good job as well actually clinching that one at the end and gaining that score lead to win.
Indeed, indeed, and I know we said it before, but Incisive 4 kills, 2 down. Sammy KLT, not normally a slayer, but he's normally the home hill player, but he's doing a great job now on picking up the gaps, as it were, where his team are leaving them. So now we are going to hop on board. We see 3 members of Aerox and 3 members of Regal Reserve in that B area. We know, if you do play the game for viewers at home, you'll know that's a bit of a scrappy but scrappison, can be at times, and that's exactly what we're going to see here. Strikers is taking a lot of damage. He is going to go down, and well played from Dragons to back his mate up, and it does get the double there. Henry the hoovering up on J-Rage, and now this is going to be Regal Reserve. They have the advantage, Toby.
Fast movement from Strikers, trying to hunt down Incisive as they've clearly won that team fight at B. Both teams committed. Regal the clear winner, but Incisive, good job from him to actually trade that one out. Has the damage been done? No. An overextension from Sammy, the home streak player for Aerox, saving the round most definitely at this point in time. The question is, can their team recover and regroup with him at B?
Indeed. But it's a good play from Sammy. He recognises he's going to go for the kill. He knew he was weak. That's great call-outs here from his team, and now he's just going to take B, but on the other side of the map, Regal Reserve have rotated, and they are decapping the home hill of Aerox, so it's a little bit unsure of who's going to come out on top on this. Ashen takes down Regal Shadows. It's a great shot from him, but he gets taken down by Regal Swift. Well played, good shot. And it looks like Regal Reserve, they are going to come out. Oh, hello! Regal Swift for the up A there, sends him back to next week, and now Regal Reserve are in prime position for an assault on the home hill.
This time they're starting to pick up speed, and it's exactly where they want to be, right, Regal? They are much better pushing forward, being ahead, pacing the game how they wish, rather than the opposite. They do go for the triple, but Aerox, spawn timer favours them as they're able to recover. Points lead gained, though, for Regal. 40-point lead. Do need to regroup a B now, though, as Aerox is coming fresh off respawn with the numbers advantage to try and get back. Here they come.
Well, no, nothing too drastic needs to happen, Toby. They are only down on points, as you say, by 40. So it's going to be interesting to see what Aerox are going to do. They do decap the B hill, so they have got position in that area. But Regal Reserve are just going to make sure they can't push up. Look at the Lancer fire here. The teamwork from Strikers and Dysix is absolutely fantastic, and it just means that Aerox have to back up, and now they're just going to set up, maybe, you know, repair a bit of the damage that's been done almost, Toby, as it were. With Sammy KLT is on the home hill, and 2 Regal Reserve players, they are looking to push up. Toby?
Yeah, what a bit of deja vu, actually. Regal now trying to do the home street push after losing D clearly. They have the score lead, though, so they might not actually want to do something as drastic as this. They'll have to go soon, or relatively soon at least, before they get pinched and risk getting triple capped. They are going now, though. Sammy is on his own. Big 1v for Strikers and Sammy, who's going to win it. Strikers, the speed favours them in that fight. Ashen's is the last man alive, and it should be a Regal Reserve round here. Fantastic stuff from them. Starting to pace the game how they wish, how they usually prefer to play, at least, and get the better of Aerox in this time.
Well, we talked about it before, didn't we, Toby? They like to wolf pack, they like to go in 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s, and that's exactly what we saw there. Regal Reserve almost did a split push in that B hill and also the home hill, and Aerox, they didn't know how to handle it, so it's a great round from Regal Reserve. Again, Strikers, the man himself, the Slayer, on your screen there on the far right. He is looking very good so far this event. Props to him. So what would you like to be seeing? I mean, it's not, you know, it's early rounds, early doors, Toby. What would you like to be put down? And do not say an Ember.
Okay. Deal. Fair enough.
Every time I cast with you, Alex, it's always Ember.
Ember, please. We like that one. If you're on the desk. I mean, we didn't mention, right, there was a block at tail in the first round from Regal Reserve, which basically means, or basically is a statement, hey, we like this team fight, which everyone goes for at the start. Let's keep it that way. Let's not have a boom shot at the other end. Let the map get a bit more strategic. Let's keep it simple. Aerox, kind of agreeing here. It's an overkill, right? I think it's more of a weapon plate, more of a second block, if you will. It's not going to change up things too much. No one will go for the quick pick on that one. Meanwhile, we do see Aerox actually cleanly winning this team fight thus far. 3 members down for Regal. Aerox, all members alive. Will they play aggressively on this one? Ashen seems to think so, yeah.
Well, Ashen's is by himself. He hasn't got much support, so he needs to be careful. He doesn't want to lose his life unnecessarily. He is going to be pushing up. This is maybe a questionable decision. He just misses the shot there, Swift. He does go down, but he has got a lot of team fire to back him up. I'd like to see Aerox maybe just rotate out of this. Yep. Go back to B and just set up for the 2 hills.
They really tested the defense there, made sure Regal were on point if they were going to try and defend that. You see Ash is trying to go for that kill, does fail. Respawns come in and they back out. All members left alive. Aerox, a little bit of a score lead and map control. Very well played indeed. Smart play.
Well, they're being very aggressive, as we've seen every single time. They do get a couple of members down of Regal Reserve suits. They do tend to be pushed and do tend to be aggressive. Now we see Incisive does take down Dysix. That's a great up here again from Strikers. The Slayer himself. He is really turning up, as I've said it before, and I'll say it again this event, but he does go down, unfortunately. Incisive, another great Slayer who's playing very well this event, and he's just going to lead an assault onto the home hill. Maybe what I'd like to see is these short respawn tanks, maybe just decap it and get out. Look, he's in a world of hurt here. The bullets come in. That's great fight from Regal Reserve, but it is going to be still an advantage in the Aerox camp.
Look at this pressure being maintained, though, by Aerox. They lost a player, but they are close enough, Aerox, to Regal to keep lancering out. Now, Sammy is going to pull out, though, and play his life just as Regal start running over and regaining the health. I think they're actually going to chase him here, because Sammy, he is in a risky position. He is on his own, not much cover, lots of places to angle and pinch from, but he has a little bit of a support to his right, 1 down in front of him. This is good from Aerox.
This is very good from Aerox. They'd like to see them back out. They are going to take 1 down, so it's a good start. They have got Shadows on the flank, and he is in a 1v1 with with the Aerox member there, but unfortunately Sammy goes in, he helps in, and look at this from Sammy, this is perfect play, just reading the shots, but I don't think he realised that Dragons was in his back, and now this is quite an important 1v. Who's going to come out top there? Dragons with the up A, brilliant stuff from him, but in the meanwhile, if you look on your screens, B is still capped, so Dragons, he needs to do something here, he needs to make sure that Aerox do not get their home hill back, and he is on his own, he doesn't have his teammates to back him up, and on the other side of the map, Ashton's does take down Regal Swift. I feel like this is going to be an Aerox round, and I think, Toby, that's the way it's going to go.
Textbook from Aerox, honestly. Individually, they're playing on point. The decision-making is on point as well. Very impressive round in terms of their rotations there. And even just in that last example, right, they only need one hill. They had B, they're probably going to win. But Aerox weren't just going to up A Dragons there. They were showing a maximum respect. 2 players going wide with the Lancer, Sammy waiting with the Harden. Perfect stuff from Aerox. They're looking good. They're playing extremely well. And for me, the prediction seems to be coming true. Aerox are being the more strategic team on this map, and it seems to be getting the better of the Wolfpack strategy from Regal.
Looking good, feeling good, and I'm not too sure, but they must be smelling good, because they are looking on fire at the moment. So well played from Aerox. The Markser has been placed down in the hospital and parking area, so it'll be interesting to see. We've seen some fantastic stuff from that weapon so far, and again, it's going to be that engagement, that initial engagement of this B hill. It's a little bit like whoever comes out on top wins at the moment. Ashton does get the kill. He is going to bounce around, giving him the jelly legs. He goes down. He's got support from his team. Well played from Aerox yet again to ensure this B area is theirs. And well played from Ash just to get the last kill. Advantage Aerox.
Aerox pressing up again, and of course, remember folks, the respawn time is increasing, so honestly, the motivation to go for triple caps after initial increases as the rounds go on. 3 members of Aerox now. Swift is going to get taken down by Sammy, so Sammy cleanly wins that 1v. Little bit of help from his teammates, but not much required. Here comes the resulting push. All players ready to win the successive shotgun battles. Absolutely textbook from Aerox. They take a 2-round lead. Such impressive stuff from them.
Well, I know we're early doors, Toby, and I don't want to say it, but I believe if Aerox take this map, your predictions aren't going to come to fruition, because I believe that Aerox aren't losing Forge Blitz, in my opinion.
Okay.
They looked very, very strong on that map yesterday, and I feel like Regal Reserve may be thinking the same thing. Well, obviously it's their map pick, so obviously I'm probably wrong in saying that, but they are going to have on their mind, I'm sure, the back of their mind that Regal, so Aerox are very good at that map. So it's going to be an interesting one, but I'm going to say it right now: if Aerox do win this map, Aerox win it 2-0.
Okay. Struck a bold prediction. And a fair one.
I'm a bold man.
Potentially.
I'm a bold man, Toby.
Okay.
I'm not a bold man.
Everyone knows that. Incense in the middle. Meanwhile, here and 2 players from both sides as a result going to the centre here between B and the opposing side of Impact. Sammy on board with him. And trick player for Aerox. He's going to go straight to the Incense following. Great shotgun win from him onto Swift, playing the damage game. The rotation to B from every player now at this point, as Incense have been picked up and thrown. Aerox are winning here the numbers game now.
Regal Reserve, I'd like to see them maybe put a weapon down in that tail area, because they are not winning this B fight at the moment. And Shadows, he's in a bit of a dodgy position. He does get taken down. He did play from Incisive, made sure he kept his life, and he took the kill with him. Look, 4 members of the team playing on Regal Reserves, playing area strikers, does go down. Again, this is looking like another advantage for Aerox. You love to see it, because they are just looking so good. And of course, in Gears War 4, we always want to see the better team come out on top. But look,
you can see them as well, just regrouping over at this B hill, setting up as perfectly as they can. All these micro movements across the side. What's the best cover for me to sit on? Where are you going? Etc. Etc. And as such, it's just nothing but meticulous play and well thought out decisions coming from Aerox. Yeah, they're clearly all on the right page. They're all focused. They're not tilted, not deflated as we've seen in previous events. They are motivated and looking to take it a real here and win the force.
Well, it's great to see. I don't know, some of you've been around the event. They are looking like they're really having fun together. And that's what it's about. You have fun together. You come together on a personal level. It always translates into the game, doesn't it? So that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And Regal Reserve, they have got the point lead at the moment. It's not too much of a point lead. Do not get me wrong. Regal Reserve still have time here to try and put it back in their favour. But again, look at the team fire Incisive from the other end. He does take down 2. Look at the overkill here is really pumping in bullets into Shadows. And again, 5 go down, and Aerox, they are looking hot at the moment.
Yeah, we were watching Ashton and Sammy win there. relative team fight, or 2v2 there on the staircase, but his teammates were winning cleanly the team fight down at the B hill as well. I mean, just to break down that 2v2, right, they got the down, they knew he was going to come and try and close the gap a little bit before making the push, the Regal player in that corner. Gets the down, lances them out, and then pushes up gradually, keeping distance, damaging the player as his revive chain, abusing that overkill's range. And there was no chance that those two players, Ashens and Sammy, were going to lose that 2v2. No chance that either of them were going to get taken down, despite the speed and aggression of Regal. Perfect stuff.
That's what it's all about, Toby, playing for each other, playing as a team, playing as a unit. And I like to say this now from history, this Aerox roster with Godfex in play. And sorry, I'm going to just stop what I'm going to say there because there is a boom shot on tail. They've obviously listened to what I was saying in my previous statement about moving something and taking the pressure away from that B fight, and that's exactly what they've done. But as I say that, J-Rage does pick it up. He does kill himself. It's an unlucky epee there from Little Ashens. Regal Dragons does take down the kill, and I believe the boom is going to be in the hands of Epsilon Ash, so he has got one more boom shot as well, so he needs to work with this now and he needs to use this to take position. Again, advantage Aerox, even though they've taken it with the pressure away from E, it's still again advantage Aerox. Aerox are looking very good. Yeah,
I think Ash is just going to leave his teammates spam A and get up there. He's going to rotate that boom shot over. Fair play, well played exactly to him to actually get in control of that boom shot after his teammate died. He can just take it slow, given the respawn timer now. He's got one boom shot left. He can wait for another respawn wave to come in and then go in as a team and take him down again. Shadows is going to get caught out. Great boom shot, reading where Shadows is going to run to. Triple cap blinking, and there should be another round to Aerox. 5-1 now, Elliot, as the stronger team is definitely putting on a show for us.
Well, it's clinical stuff, Toby. And it's brilliant to see. But let's go on the other side of the coin here. Regal Reserve, what do they need to do to stop this bleeding like it is?
Here's the thing, right? Yes, it's the second half now, so the weapon swaps aren't too relevant. But the boom shot choice, right? That was good. They were clearly losing the initial the most times, and they were getting triple capped out of it a lot of the time with the Spaniards. They put the boom shot down, and they wanted to change the pace of the game. They wanted to play to their strengths, and yeah, that makes total sense. Put the boom shot down. Perhaps even consider doing it earlier on in the second half. They've got to play very quickly indeed, and to full potential to Regal, I think, to catch up with the strategy and the teamwork of Aerox now and really take it to them. Second half, shorter respawn timer. It's going to be very volatile, this home street. Their shotguns need to be on point now. Win as many 1vs as you can, otherwise I think Aerox, their teamwork, is just dominating right now.
It's such a hard position playing myself, and obviously yourself, Toby, I know that you played for a little bit as well. When you're in this position, when you're being dominated like Aerox are dominating Regal Reserve, it is quite hard to get out of it, but as I say, that Dragons has something to say. He does take down Ash in emphatic fashion, and J-Rage there, peekaboo, he takes his head clean off. Well played from Dragons, so now Regal Reserve should be looking to use this and gain advantage, Toby.
Incisive catches out Dragons there. Dragons didn't even have a shotgun out there, so he assumed absolutely no chance would someone be sitting there, but Incisive with the surprise. He played Incisive.
He's always been the one for me, Toby, that's always, from watching him in previous matchups against Lucen, and obviously yesterday as well, he's always been the one who saves them in these scenarios. Look, Regal Reserve have an opportunity there to put some pressure, to try and get a decap, maybe even play for a trip cap opportunity. I know it's very early rounds, but, with these teams being as aggressive as they are, you kind of expect it. But he's always been the one to stop it going too far. Now there's going to be an engagement here in this B area. Epsilon Ash does take down one, and he goes down, but he's got J-Rage to pick him up. Now we are looking at them just playing. Look how good they're playing together as a team. Look at that. It's just brilliant stuff. The 2v1, they've taken that just exceptionally well, and now Aerox have 5-man to 3, and they do have the position to just try and take advantage. Dragon's just trying to sneaky man him and gets out of his life. Again, J-Rage does pinch him, he does take him down. Strike is taking down Ash, and now we are looking at Aerox. They are decapping all hills. Regal Reserve looking like they haven't got a hope in hell at the moment, Toby.
That is the case. 1v seem to be going the way now of Aerox, but the 1v win from Die6s in the home hill will stop that triple cap in its tracks. Numbers-wise, Aerox aren't too strong, position-wise either, so they're not going to continue on that triple cap offensive. The score is really getting close now to 210, so why not? Just settle on the 2 hills as per usual. And it's going to have to be Regal trying to break that setup once again here.
Well, if history's anything to go by, they haven't broken up a setup yet, this Regal Reserve team. I think actually only once in the first rounds. Every other time, Aerox have done a great job in just putting them almost in a cage where they can't get out of, they can't find a key. Like that analogy there. But Aerox again, look at the setups. Ashen's maybe caught out a little bit here. He's in a little bit of a bad position. He has got the shots though, well done from him, but he does go down in the end. Regal Reserve looking to put an assault on the E-Hill, but unfortunately I don't think it's going to be enough. Look, if you look at the points here, it's 207 to Aerox, and that is the magic number, ladies and gentlemen. 6-1 Aerox.
Honestly, Elliot, I know I've been praising Aerox this whole map, but oh my, I did not predict the round count to be this close for the first map. Yes, I was confident Aerox winning it, but so far this has been a dominating performance from Aerox. They just seem to know exactly what Regal are going to throw at them at all times. Regal, honestly, have been a little bit stale in their decision making. It's just been throw as many numbers at the main point as you can. There's not been too many home hill pushes. There's not been too many fantastic rotations. I don't think that the raw skill-based strikers of Dragons of Shadows is going to be enough to take down Aerox when they're playing this well.
I agree with you, Toby. I thought this was going to be the Don Perignon of the match of the weekend, but unfortunately, I'm being proven very much so wrong. Aerox looking like they're just dominating their opposition. Again, we've got this counter. Well played there from Shadows. He does get the kill. Strikers does take down J-Rage. We are looking at kills going in each of these teams' favour. Incisive here. I don't know if he knew that he was being flanked. Well played, Regal. Now they're showing signs of life. They do have 4 dead of Aerox. They need to use this now. They need to put the pressure on. They need to get the round. But look at Sneaky Sammy. He's just putting himself in positions where this Regal, I think they've seen him know, unfortunately, he's going to take down loads of damage, and he is going to go down. Regal Reserve doing well there to identify his position, but look, this is dodgy games here for Aerox. Ash does take down one, he does get the second kill as well. He's defending well. Look at Dragons in the flank though. This is a massive 1v1 here, but he gets taken down by Dysix, and I think that's going to be Regal Reserve's round, Toby.
Regal going all in, less incisive, can get a double here. Can he keep himself in the game? Yes, he can break the hill. Will fall. Here comes Sammy. No, he will fall straight away. J-Rage is coming flying in, but this is a 2v1 now. Have Aerox held on? I think they have. As resources are dwindling, Regal will be forced to pull back. Look at that points lead though. This is their opportunity. Moments of greatness. Swift has had a few double kills now in this round. Use that momentum now to carry out this round and abuse this huge point score that they've built up.
Well, with that play, yeah, you say it's 70 points. Regal Reserve is 70 points up. That is dodgy games for Aerox, but Regal Reserve, they're going to be kicking themselves. There is a boom coming up in a couple of seconds.
And that's opportunity right there, set up for it. That's why Aerox have so many of their players actually positioned for this E-Hill in this scenario. It's because of that boom shot coming up soon.
They do indeed. Aerox do realise that. They identify the boom is going to be up very, very shortly, so they are going to try and push numbers on this this tail area, and Regal Reserve are just going to have to stop them from getting any position. They cannot let the kills not go in their favour. Regal Reserves are just going to set up, try and get the angles, and look, the points are going up in Regal's favour. The damage almost, Toby, you could say, has already been done. Aerox need to pull a rabbit out of a hat to stop this from happening.
I like this from Regal. They're pulling back each and every time. Step by step, they're delaying this push from Aerox while keeping themselves alive. Now, Sammy is able to take out Dragons. Ashen's falls. The points are ticking, remember. The boom shot might be in the hands of Ash, but they need to fly, and they need to fly now. Even the triple cap is
there's a hill going.
We've gone over extension, that's from Strikers. It is going to be a cap on that hill there. And I don't think any players are near enough at the D-Hill either. So, Regal Reserve, they do hold on. They abuse that advantage that they gained in the initial, at the start of this round. Well played, Regal. They kept their heads on their shoulders and carried it out. Well,
Regal have certainly put one hand out of the coffin, as it were. But maybe... Is it a little too late, Toby?
It's just going to jam that coffin shut again.
I think they're going to nail it.
They nail it, is it?
Nail the coffin, hey! One for you there.
It's up for the crowd. Good one.
But no, Regal Reserve, yes, showing the signs of life. So it's good to see, but as I said, Toby, I think it's maybe a little bit too late. Aerox, they do block off the old cockpit B area, and I think it's just going to be business as usual. Sorry, it's going to be what we saw in the last round, that fight in the tail area.
Yeah. I think Aerox have had the upper hand here in this boom shot initial. They've played this quite a few times actually, this event now on side stations and whatnot. It's very placement. They've blocked the opposite side of the map just to keep it a strict initial, go over and over and over again on this boom shot and eventually win and get the last round they need.
Indeed, look, here we go now. So the kills are coming in. Ash does take down one, but he gets taken down by Strikers, almost a trade, sorry that was. Dragons does get the boom shot though, that's not very good for Aerox. They do not want to be giving the boom shot to this Regal Reserve side, and now 2 kills come in from Regal. They have the position, they have the 1 boom shot. J-Ray just has to pull out. He's going to try and keep his life as best he can, but I think he's in a bit of a sticky situation here, Toby. He does have 1 off spawn or 2 off spawn to help him back up. Regal Reserve, good play from them. Advantage Regal.
Good job to stay alive there for J-Rage. He was considering, right, baiting a player into the up A, hiding around the corner, but split-second decision-making just to make sure he gets either a kill or he gets out alive, or both. So well played J-Rage indeed. Bringing up the overhead as things slow down there. Come off respawn. It's time to plan a push. Remember, the boom shot's still there at the E-hill, so the ante is definitely there. The timing is so crucial in when you actually decide to push with numbers and where exactly. It looks like Aerox will be rotated from the opposite side of the old E-hill to the other side, but I'm looking at Regal here. Nice launching from the window. That's 2 players straight away jumping onto that window. Smart positioning. Ash does get one back, but 2v1 in front of him.
Yeah, but he's in a whole world of hurt there. He gets taken down brilliantly by Strikers and Dice6, and now this is Regal's chance. They've got 2 kills. Can they get a third? Lilashans, he might have something to say about this, doing brilliantly to give him the jelly legs, but unfortunately, I just don't think it's enough. The support comes in, and now Regal Reserve, they're showing that they do have some fire in their fireplace. This is a massive 1v here from J-Rage. He gets taken down, and that, I think, Toby's going to be Regal Reserve's round, unless Incisive, he comes in the back here, but I think he's just going to be played out. Good movement from him, but look, Regal Reserve, the shotguns are just too strong. Regal's rounds.
Yep, Sammy's going to filter in Ashens unless he's going to pull out a miracle. Regal do get a round back. It's 2 rounds in a row.
I didn't see that, sorry, that was very premature. I didn't see the guy coming up the stairs. I thought it was 4 or 5 dead. Apologies, but again, nevertheless.
You're right nonetheless.
I was right nonetheless. Regal Reserve take it to 6-3, and this is the Regal Reserve we want to see. This is what's going to make it a more exciting matchup when we thought, actually, Aerox were just pummeling them.
Aerox given the question again, hey, you've lost another round, are you going to put another weapon down? And I think they're actually considering putting something here. Ember. Sorry, Elliot, but I think they're going to go for it, honestly. I'm not too surprised. We saw this on Lift, right? You kept commenting on it yesterday in our cast against XCon. Every time XCon set up on rocks at the top, they would just get Ember up, use that to rotate and get to the incense as well. So not too surprised that. I think they can really utilize this overhead map, if you will, this setup on the map to out-strategize Regal, because yes, Regal have been getting the better of them now in this initial on the boom shot. Swift has been going off with double kills. Let's see how this influences things.
Let's see how it does. It's always such a great weapon to put down, that Ember. It's always a counter-strat to that boom, but again, let's see Regal Reserve. They do get one, they do get the prop, but that's great play there from Rage. He does take down 2. Look at the movement, but it's just not enough. Shadows does take him down, and it's going to be Regal Reserve who are going to pick up the boom shot, and Sammy's looking like he's in a very, very difficult position.
Incisive.
But there you go, Incisive with the Ember play. You said it, but it's such a great weapon to counter. Unlucky there, misses that Regal Reserve player by the skin of his shoulder. Regal Reserve in advantage there.
But the Ember has been lost. I'm sure, actually, where did Sammy go? He rotated very quickly. Yeah, there he is. You can see on our screen. He's rotated all the way round back to EO, and I'm wondering, was Incisive aware of that? Perhaps he should have pulled back a little bit further back in the cover. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there, because they have lost the Ember, and honestly, it wasn't necessary. Incisive should have been positioned a little bit better.
Yeah, indeed. And now they have the hard task of trying to get that position when the boom shot's in the hands of the Regal Reserve. In fact, I actually tell a lie. They do not have any more boom shots left. I don't know if you see it on your screen there, but no one is picking up the boom shot. This is great play from Ashens, just getting as much damage as he can over the cover. J-Rage on the other side does take down Shadows. Swift takes down Ashton. That's a great up A there from Dragons on Little Ashens. Swift as well gets a kill, and now Regal Reserve can now look at the trip cap from nowhere, and I think they're going to get it. I don't think Sammy KOT is in time. No! Someone call the ambulance, because I think Aerox are choking just a little bit.
I think... crowd liked that one. Well done, Elliot. for 4 rounds now for Regal Reserve. 3 rounds in a row, Elliot. This is getting a bit nerve-wracking now for Aerox.
It is
not
indeed.
a team I'd like to. I would like to see in this scenario because the potential to tilt and choke is there. Honestly, I mean, I don't think it's been so much Aerox playing badly the second half. I think Regal have just been stepping it up. Their initials are actually going well for them. They're making good decisions, and when they do push, they do make the most out of it. I mean, Incisive, of course, we called out a mistake there in the middle. Big power weapon. It hasn't given the width of impact and the openness of it. That can be abused to really keep heads down and force your will into your enemy. So, missed opportunity there. Maybe that cost them the ground scheme play as well.
Yeah, indeed. But this fight here, Sammy KLT is on the 1v1 for the M bar. He has got the position, but again, look, Swift with yet again another first blood. Shadows on Incisive as well. This is looking very dodgy for Aerox. And now Little Ashes, I think, is just going to get taken down, and that is 4 down for Aerox. We're going to probably see Regal Reserve now put some pressure on the home hill, but Ash does stop the bleeding just a little bit. He gets a kill on Die 6, and Shadows is in the hat. But actually, as I say that, this is very big from Ash. He gets taken down by Strikers. Well played. Striker says, no, not today, Ash. I don't think it's going to be in time. Oh, play from Strikers. Great movement from him to take down J-Rage. And I don't understand what Incisive was doing there. He wasn't looking at the player at all. And the Regal Reserve have brought this back from 6-1 to 6-5. Ladies and gentlemen, what am I seeing?
4 rounds in a row, Elliot. I'm getting nervous for Aerox. Yikes. Okay. Take a breath, Aerox. Weapon placement time. This is a big one. I would get the boom shot out of that as fast as you can, because that has not worked out for them at all. That weapon placement there, and they've replaced it with the overkill. So kind of like a second block. It's going to be more of the same, perhaps, as in terms of the first half. Players spread out a little bit more towards that M bar. 22-second respawn timer, so triple cap is looming potentially. Slow down Regal, just stop them in their tracks for now. Force a little bit more of a stalemate. Don't let them start running at you and allow the potential for a triple cap. Play it slower, slow this game down.
Well, this is definitely the spectacle that we wanted, Toby Campbell. But what I'm looking at now is I'm looking to someone like Ash. I'm looking to him to just play the in-game leader role, calm these guys down, and do not let this happen. As I say that though, Regal Reserve, they do have the position on that tail area. Dragons now is just going to try and move to 43. Little Ashen's doing a great job to just stop him, but I feel like now with the boom shot out of play, like you say, the boom shot being out of play from the overkill, this is a great opportunity for Aerox just to go back to their winning ways, because they weren't winning that boom area.
Striker's testing the right-hand advantage and the ability it gives him to push that. Does roll back straight away though, safe play. Catch deep though, Regal Reserve, they are now getting lanced out. Striker's going to get down, yes he is, but the revive does come through quickly. Damage is done though as Sammy tries to take advantage there. The break does come through, Swift is now flying, can he clean it up? Yes he can. He'll get the meat shield, but he will be full red. Ember still on the floor, remember, so not too surprised if a push goes through there while all this is going on at E.
Oh, and Ash literally just gets that kill by the skin of his teeth. He's very, very red. Shadows does get him down in the end. And look, Regal Reserve do take down J-Rage on the other side of the map as well. This is very dodgy games for Aerox. They cannot let this happen. And now we're seeing Regal Reserve. They're putting the assault on the home hill. We have Little Ashens coming through 43. He needs to make a decision of where he's going to go, because here it comes. The trip cap. Is he little too late? Denied for 1 second, and it's just so nerve-wracking for this Aerox squad. They can't let this make this 6-6. I think it's going to go to it. Oh no, I'm seeing Fallout jump on the stage. I can't believe this is happening. It was 6-1, Toby Campbell, and now we are looking at 6-6. Regal Reserve have brought this back in emphatic fashion.
It's a game of 2 halves, Elliot. 5 rounds in a row for Aerox. 5 rounds in a row following for Regal Reserve. You can't script a better game than this. This has turned out to be something extremely special here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are in the penultimate round between Regal Reserve and Aerox. It is 6-6. It is tied. Toby, I am sweating.
Different scenario, of course, there earlier. We've actually restarted the whole game. It is back to the initial, so we haven't got the Aerox players in spawn. It is right back to where we were on at the start of this 13th round. Same weapons on the map, of course. Let's get into it.
Let's do indeed, and Dragons does go down first. He has got the help of his mate there, but he is on his last down, so he can't get answered again. And Dysix again, we saw this in the last round. Regal Aerox just pushing into the Regal Reserve home hill, and obviously we saw it in a very similar scenario just before the host paused the game because we've had technical difficulties. Is this the play that Aerox are going to stick with? Toby, thoughts?
They've stuck with it, for sure. They've definitely got the home hill set up. They have the players there, all on the F hill pretty much. Regal's response is going to set up at E, most importantly as well, push players over to the opposite of the map. They've pretty much flipped the map on its head here, as Regal do go for the second on the side. But as you can see on our screen, Sammy is very close to it. Is he in the dragon? I think he is. Dragon's going to shoot this guy in the back with the overkill. He does get that first kill, 24-second respawn timer, and this could start it all off here.
That can't happen, Toby. We see Ash, he is going to be in his 2v1 situation. It's going to be interesting to see if he can come out of a kill, but no, Strikers takes him down, and now Regal do have the advantage. They have 2 men off the Aerox team, and they are going to just return the favour and take the 2 home hills. Aerox, they need to respond. They need to respond quickly. J-Rage goes down as well, and there was a very brief moment of a COG domination, and look at this! Regal Reserve, they take down 3 members, 4 members dead from Aerox. It is all in the hands of Sammy KLT. What can he do here, Toby? This is tense.
Time has been delayed for a second. We're not triple capping just yet. It seems Regal now pushing back in. Sammy keeping his distance, but still putting in damage. Perfectly well played from him, but players do need to come to his rescue right now, and he's trying to get 1 kill at least, and he does.
Oh my god!
Can they get the third?
Oh my god, I just don't know what to say there. I thought he was going to get another kill there. He just missed him. Excellent Ash does take down Swift though, and he does get Shadows. They are now on the assault. They have the advantage. Toby, this is going down to the wire, and it's just back and forth. But now, Aerox, they have the time. They can do this. I think they're going to get this round. 1 second respawn from Dragons and Strikers. They are up. I don't think it's going to be in time. Aerox, they're going to take map 1.
And look how much it means to them. Nail-biting first map to this match as all the Aerox players stand up. Wow, that could have gone the other way then as Regal pushed in. That was so nail-bitingly closer. We thought Regal won for a second there, but instead, Sammy holds on. He gets a kill. Incisive comes into the mix. They all win their respective 1Bs, and suddenly Regal were team-wiped. Oh, they might be kicking themselves there as they're discussing that one. Regal, they went for the delayed push for that triple cap. They didn't go straight away. Sammy was just sitting in the corner, comfortable, not being pressured all that much. They probably could have killed him a lot earlier.
Okay, yep.
And as such, potential triple cap opportunity missed out there before the players came in to respawn.
I think Regal Reserve, they panicked, okay? Look at that play. Sammy, he didn't hit a shot in that. You know, the first 2 guys, the Regal Reserve guys that came into the home hill, he didn't hit a shot. Now, Regal, in situations like that, they need to capitalize. They could have easily have taken him out. He did well to strafe around, so fair play to Sammy. You know,
yeah, he did his job.
He did his job. You know, he really did put it in the hands of Aerox, and then when Ash took those two Regal Reserve players, it was just game on from there. And I think the J-Rage took another kill as well. So Aerox, that was squeaky stuff, and you know, honestly, they are going to be so happy with that, because before the break, Regal Reserve looked like they were going to take that and do a reverse sweep, 6-round reverse sweep on Aerox. Jeez Louise.
For those just joining us, right, Aerox, they won. They were 5-1 up, 4-1 up?
They were 6-1 up.
6-1 up. The first half was definitely on Aerox's side, is my point. Second half, we went to Regal going on a huge 5-round streak. And then it got to that last round. A little bit of pause, technical difficulty due to that being the cause of that one. And then it just comes down to the last round where Aerox clinched it. That was perhaps the only hesitant time that Regal Reserve have had. They're usually all guns blazing. If anything, they're too proactive and too fast in making the decisions, but they hesitated. There was 2, maybe 3 players on that staircase ready to push in. They knew how many were alive. They're constantly spamming LB, looking at the Tapcom, aware of how many players they've killed and how many are on respawn. 24-second respawn timer. They know where Sammy is. They know exactly where he is. Fly at him. Even if you're not going to go for the triple cap there and then, or even step in the hill, at least get that kill, keep snowballing those deaths, and then they can wait for just the players coming in there, such as Ash, Incisive, and then take them out in their own play. But
Aerox.
Regal Reserve, they'll be kicking themselves. I think Aerox will be very, very happy with that one. Sammy done his job. He took advantage of the scenario, the experience showing there, and a brilliant first map. Elliot, I think we summarised that quite well, given the circumstances.
I mean, you know, Regal Reserve. That's the difference between these two teams, right? We've seen it there. It's perfectly exampled the difference between these two teams. Regal Reserve, they didn't hold their nerve. They didn't hold their nerve. They had, as you say, a prime advantage to take that map there and then, and they panicked. They choked. It's simple as that. It is as simple as that. And I don't want to say it. I think this Regal Reserve team are a fantastic outfit, but they panicked, they choked, and Aerox, they took advantage of that.
Probably the best map of the tournament thus far.
That was so good.
Maybe the best map.
That was a
we'll
pleasure
see.
to cast, honestly. That last round there was unbelievable. And that, again, I've said it before and I say it again, is why we love Gears of War 4.
That is why we love Gears. And we get plenty of those kind of matches in Europe. As aggressive as these players can be. Forge Blitz, though, the next map, as we do need to look towards the future. 7-6, of course, Aerox winning that. So, kind of with the predictions of most of the talent here on the desk. Not in that style, of course. No one would ever have predicted the events that's just unfolded, how that occurred. But we're going to Forge Blitz. It's Regal Reserve's pick. We've seen what they can do, these Spanish players in this map. A very hype map we've once casted on this one, involving said nation and...
Don't worry, I've got the picture on my wall, Toby. I remember that map. I remember that map. I remember that event. And I remember the plays that were being made. But unfortunately, Toby, as much as I would love it to be another Regal Reserve Lucent at EGL Sheffield, and I'd love to be screaming down the mic here at this EGL Liverpool event, I think it's not going to be the case. Aerox, they're going to clinch this, and I think it's going to be pretty convincing. You
don't have Exus, you don't have Cougar, you don't have Fractures, so that's most of the players from said game, not here. But I think the point remains, Forge Blitz is definitely Regal Reserve's pick for a reason, and Aerox will have their work cut out for them. Question is, Regal, they're probably kicking themselves. They're probably the team that's actually deflated, not Aerox this time around. Aerox will be relieved, I'm sure, that they clinched that one in the end. And it could, I think that probably decides the series, honestly. I think if Regal won that first map and came back, I think they would have gone, I think probably 2-0 Aerox. But no, it's not going to be this time anyway. Aerox do hold on as we go into the second map of Forge Blitz.
But, we can't say it's not going to happen at all, because Regal Reserve are a very good team. The only reason why I say Aerox are probably going to come out on top in a convincing fashion on this next map is just because of the way they've shown us what they can do on this map so far, this event. And I'm only going by statistics. I know obviously Regal Reserve are a much better team than XCon, of course, but I'm only going by statistics on this one. I feel like Regal Reserve, they looked very strong. Forget about the opposition. XCon, yes, weren't the strongest of teams against them, but looking at what they were doing and the rotations they were providing us for our entertainment just looked to be too strong. I don't think Regal Reserve are going to be able to do it. But we're going to get into the map Forge Blitz. Tell your friends, tell your family. It's going off here at EGL Liverpool, and we want you to enjoy it. Let's get straight into it. Toby, thoughts? What's going to happen?
Going into this one, I think we should expect anyway, a big fight in the control tower. I think that's an opportunity for Regal to use their power and their might against Aerox. Look at this, immediately 2 Lancers. J-Rage actually going as wide as the control room will allow, and a Lancer from down bottom. Great start for Aerox, but the recovery has come through for Regal. They're regaining health. J-Rage Ashton's on the push here.
They are indeed, and this is a very tense 2v2 on the other side of the map. Those Strikers is taking a 2-piece. He does take down Incisive and Ash, so that is going to give Regal Reserve the advantage for the moment. And as I say that, Ashton's is going to take down Dragons. J-Rage is going to follow him to try and take this one down. They do need to get the B-Hill, the D-Cap, the trick up combination is coming in. It's a great play from Ashton's again. He's definitely showing up and showing us why he's a fantastic slayer. Incisive does take down Strikers, but advantage Regal Reserve.
Yep, they try to go for that triple cap, a good effort, but Aerox has a shorter spawn timer than that previous round we saw an Impact. Only 12 seconds required until you get back to the field. They're coming off respawn now. Regal trying to set up. My thoughts about the great lancering onto die 6s as Aerox do enter the field once again here, pushing over to the B-Hill.
And obviously as well, looking at the analytical standpoint here, Toby, I know you love to do so. This B fight here through that little alleyway, we see so many teams, they don't account for it, do they? And they get caught out so many times. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, most definitely. I think another consideration is the control tower, because if you allow a team to take control of that angle can just stare at that corridor.
Such a scary angle.
And you can build up a fortress that way. So definitely consideration. Once again, though, Aerox, they've gone up the control to the control room, and Regal, they've got the call-outs throughout their team. They're rotating to the hills and just leaving them in no man's land. It's such a huge run from that button to get to a hill. You have to run all the way around the map, essentially, just to get to the B hill right below them. So definitely consideration for Aerox. Right now, though, on their mind should be the points, as Regal Reserve have a huge score lead, and they're already pressed in C hill as well. Sammy might be caught out here.
Yeah, this is looking pretty dodgy here for Aerox, and as I say, that Sammy T gets taken down as well. But on the other side of the map, Aerox have rotated to the home hill, but they need to do something special here if they're going to try and take down this round. It is early days, well played from Shadow's Hair. He takes a fantastic 2v1, and I feel like this is going to be Regal Reserve's round unless Ashens can pull out a miracle. He's giving him the movement, but it's just not enough. I feel like this is going to be Regal Reserve's round. Sammy does actually decap it though for the moment, but he gets taken out. 1-0 Regal Reserve.
Yeah, good job from the Spaniards there, taking it on in their stride. Twice there, actually, Aerox, they send two players up to the control room, right? They try and get map control, they try and regain position on Forged Blitz here, but instead, Regal, they're on point. They know exactly what's going on. They call out to their teammates, look, we've got a numbers advantage elsewhere. They're trapped up top now. Let's just run to the hills, make the triple caps blink, and force them down there, because they're going to have to run if their teammates are off respawn or trapped on their side. So, yeah, fantastic stuff from Regal. They're the more strategic team so far on Forged Blitz.
It certainly looks that way in these early rounds. Obviously, we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves here, Toby. It is only 1-0, and Aerox might just have had a dodgy start. And now we're going to see that 2v2 fight again in the control tower. Last round it did go in the hands of Aerox, and Ashens does take down Shadows. Well played by him. Dragons is just going to run out and keep his life, so well played. He does recognise that the B hill has been won, and he's going to support him. But on the other side of the map, look, Epsilon Ash and Incisive, they go down again. They're not doing a great job in controlling that side of the map. It's all up to Ashens. He's been making some fantastic plays so far to ensure his team don't feel it too bad. As I say, that Strikers, the slayer that is Strikers, comes up with a fantastic up A. Again, advantage Regal Reserve, and the swarm domination is coming in. Ash has something to say about it just about, but J-Raid is trying to move, trying to stop taking damage, but I think Incisive has just done enough to defend the home hill of Aerox. But again, advantage Regal Reserve.
Yep, still advantage Regal. Aerox left reeling. So they only just about survived that triple cap attempt. Strikers once again on the initial, right? RB's getting the 1v victory, and the team is abusing it immediately. Aerox did win the initial up top though in the control room. Actually, 3 players are going up now. Risky stuff, and I think this is Dragons realizing that he's rotating over towards the A-hill, keep positioning for a triple cap to start blinking in the eyes of the Aerox players up top. Hopefully they've started running. I think some have actually double backed. Yeah, one player has double backed to the home hill here. They know exactly what Regal are trying to do to them. The triple cap's blinking. Incisive isn't close enough to break that A hill, but he's received a call out at B that they're going to break just there.
And look, J-Rage just got them out. Sorry, got them a free out of jail card, but it's not enough. Regal Reserve, they take round 2, and it's looking like they are the better team right now. But I don't want to say it. We said that about Aerox last map, and look what happened. So, you know, we don't want to get too drastic so far.
Weapon placement time, perhaps, because Aerox, they keep trying the same thing, going up to the control tower, see if they can gain map control, play a bit of a slower game, and actually they want to stick with that strategy, evidently. Incisive putting down the M-bar. What better player than him to put said weapon down and potentially get it? He's not playing up top, though, I don't think. I think it was Ashens, and I forget the second player, but Incisive, he's been rocking down bottom, I believe. But the question is, though, how many players are going to be sent to top? That might be worth 3 players. Instead, it's not going to be the case. We're going to stick to the same format. Got to keep a close eye on that fight at top and also down bottom here.
Well, this is better from Aerox. They do get the 2-piece, and Ashens does pick up the M-bar. Let's see what he's got. Is he going to be moving and grooving like I've seen Incisive do before? And what a shot there by little Ashens, showing he's not just a shotgun player. He can be a marksman when needed to be, but this is obviously turned Regal Reserve. They need to do some defense work, and they have done just that, but Aerox, they've got the advantage. Finally, they're showing up, they're showing fight, they're showing they have a little bit of life left in them.
And with the end bar control, there's no reason now to push up any further. Just play it slow, set up, and be wary of these Regal players about to try and fly. Great shot on the right player as well, who was damaged by Strikers, but Dragons does throw his body at Ashen, taking him down. Lancer Fire elsewhere, but J-Rage stuck in the middle. 2v1, just need some Lancer Fire support up top, from up top if possible. Does finally come in, but not before he gets taken down. I believe these two players will be cleaned up. Incisive comes through, and Shadows is taken down as well, and that leaves Strikers on his own. Aerox, are they going to go for the triple cap? Doesn't seem like they don't have the numbers advantage. A little bit of a score lead. They're going to set up here.
Well, they don't really need to do anything too rushed, too drastic here. This far they can just set up. They do have the M-bar, I believe, or they have, the M-bar respawn on lock, unless Regal Reserve can pull something to take the map. Take that position of the map away from them. They are trying to. Incisive is being pushed by two members of Regal Reserve, and he does have Ash to back him up. That's great play from him, great fire. Now Incisive just needs to keep up. He needs to keep the shots, keeps his distance. Yes, like you say, he needs to do anything. Well played. That's a great 2v1 there by Incisive and Ash, and I think now they do have the respawn for the end bar.
Perfect 2v2. Neither player was going to get taken down there as Ashes bait Swift onto that cover as he's got support to his left. Aerox pushing for the triple now. They have a score lead, a big one of that. They're going to go for the triple cap. Go for it now. 3 players of Regal in front. They're going to start breaking it. They have to be careful. Nope, J-Rage will fall, and immediately they're trying to back out. They can win up 1-0. Oh, Strikers gets the kill. Incisive gets the M-bar. And Dragons is going to get a double as well. This is nerve-wracking times for Aerox. Unfortunately for them, only Incisive alive, and he's not near a hill.
This is not good for Aerox. They are getting trip capped, and I don't think anyone is there. J-Rage is the only one who could maybe get a touch. And look, Regal Reserve. Just look at how, in the blink of a second, it could just change. And well played from Regal Reserve to come back there.
3 rounds in a row now as well, and that was the chance for Aerox to stop that momentum in its tracks and claim victory, abusing that M-bar and that new weapon placement right there and then. But they committed to the triple. It was always a nerve-wracking thing to do given the score lead. They didn't even have a hill for most of the time there, Regal, as Aerox were pushing up. At least relative control of it with players around it. Just hold them there on the cover. It's a choke point in itself. Those 4 players could have been pretty much in the same position, but a little further back, out of harm's way. They didn't need to start breaking that hill. They could have won off 1. If you're going to go all in and win your shock balance. But if you're not that confident that you can win it, don't go for it. And that's a mistake there for Aerox.
So true, Toby, so true. And again, this 2v2 fight we see up top. I think the teams get the mistake. They try and be a bit too aggressive when they shouldn't be. Ashens, though, well played. He does take down Shadows when... from nowhere, though. Look at that Lancer Fire up top. That's fantastic from Regal, and it just allows Regal Dragons to take the Empire. He does hit him. Ooh, well played from Sammy KLT. He just gets into cover in time, but again, Regal Reserve, they have the advantage. They do have the numbers, and maybe they can push now.
They have map control as well. Dragons has won the control room. He's got power control there. And the rest of the Aerox players, they're trapped over on the A side. You can see, using our X-ray vision as casters and spectators here, the Regal Reserve players, they're positioned extremely well for actually for the Aerox respawns to come through and just keep them contained on this side. Not much of a score lead, mind you, early days in this round points-wise, so Aerox, they have time to collect themselves and formulate a strategy. Clearly, they want to push on this side of the map.
Oh, Dragons. Oh, there he is! In the words of Britney Spears, hit me, baby, one more time, Dragons, with a fantastic shot there with the M-bar. And now, look, Regal Reserve, they're on the assault, they're doing the trip cap domination, and this is just brilliant from Regal Reserve. They've got the fire in their bellies. Fantastic stuff.
What more can you say? That M-bar play, a double headshot just like that as Aerox come off respawn. They formulated the strategy. They chose to push through that choke point, and Dragons punished them for it. My oh my, nothing but skill. And of course, Regal, the rest of the teammates flying over for that triple cap immediately off the back of that play. They thrive on those high, intense moments, those god plays, if you will. And boy, oh boy, did they take advantage. Fantastic stuff in Aerox. They're trying to change things up now. They put a boom shot down at the B hill. Let's see how that influences things. Remember, the Ember is still up top. How are the players going to be split from that control room and that B hill?
I don't know. And you've got Boom and Ember on the map now, and Regal Reserve, they just need to keep on doing what they're doing because they're shutting down this Aerox side so quickly and so clinically. And as I say that though, Aerox, they do get 2 kills in themselves, and Ashens does pick up the Ember. Let's see what he can do with it. It just reminds me, Toby, when Dragon's got that 2-piece, it just reminds me of EGL Sheffield all over again. And as I say that, well played from Epsilon Ash. He does get the 2-piece. There are 4 dead for Regal Reserve. So Aerox, they need to make an assault. This is going to be the opportunity they need to get 1 round back and gain a little bit of momentum back, because Regal Reserve, they're just looking to fire right now, as it were, Toby.
Great initial though from Aerox. They've got control of the boom shot, they've got control of the Ember. Ash is mantling people with a Lancer out, so I don't know if that's confidence or a mistake. He had the boom shot in his hand, he doesn't have an Asher. So yeah, a little bit of confidence, safe to say, as he's getting in up close and personal just like that. And it took less than 1 minute now there for Aerox to respond, and honestly, they won up in control room. Ashen's got the Ember control, great shotgun in from him. It was a 1v1 in the end up there for that weapon, and a bit of a scrap for that B hill, for that boom shot. And that, of course, that's it's a previous location where Regal have been dominating. So, yeah, that boom shot just changed up the dynamic there on that fight. And as a result, Regal, they don't like that. Incense replacing that weapon.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. And you know, Aerox, they've slowed down the steam train that is looking like Regal Reserve. So well played from them to take that round, and this is going to be as equally as important. The 2v2 back onto the M-bar. Regal Reserve looking like they can do exactly the same things they've been doing for the last 4 rounds before that last one. So sorry, the previous 4 rounds. But look, here we go again. Regal Dragons, he does take down Ashens. J Rage is in a difficult situation. 2v1 that maybe doesn't want to be in. He does give him the jelly legs though. Well played from him. Oh, what an up A from J Rage. Love that. And now he's on a 1v1. He just needs to regain his health on the other side. I'm just saying this as well. Sammy KLT does take down one. This is very big, but Dragons hold his nerve. And now we see the M-bar in his hands once again.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from J Rage in that 2v1. Turns around just in the split second and gets the up A. Smart player is this individual, but Dragons, the raw skill, does win out in the end. And this is his reward, the M-bar back in hand. Staring at Incisive, he knows he's going to have to pull out a cover eventually as his teammate is angling Incisive out there. A player comes out of nowhere and Dragons doesn't mind. He gets Sammy just stuck in the corner, I don't know what to do. Dragons is staring at me, someone help me. But he will get dropped, he will get taken down. Remember, Aerox, they've had 2 hills for quite a while now, so Regal, they don't have thorough control as Ash does light up Dragons a little bit down, and J-Ray trying to take advantage here.
Yes, indeed, and Ashens does have the response, but well played from Dragons again. He does get the kill on J-Rage, and look, Regal Reserve, they're just looking like they're going to be on the assault here. They do get 3 downs as well played from them, and now they have the opportunity to take the trick cap. It's all up to Sammy KLT. We see him in these positions so many times. He is the home hill player for this Aerox team, and I thought that was the end, but it wasn't. It was a shotgun. Well played from him, and I think Regal Reserve, they are going to take this. Look, yes! Incisive, he cannot stop the damage happening. 5-1, Regal Reserve.
There you have it, the end of the first half. A breather for Aerox momentarily. The boom shot placement, it worked, in my opinion, as the round count suggests when they did win, of course, there in the first one. But Regal respond in kind, and 12-second respawn timer. I guess Aerox, the chance of getting triple capped is a little bit lower, but the threat is very much still there. Regal, they're on a roll, Elliot.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think, Toby, for me, you know, it just looks like they're outslaying this Aerox team. Is it as simple as that?
It very much is so. And I think Aerox, they aren't as in tune with this map as they say are Impact. Their teamwork is not as on point. Strategy, there's not as much depth, and Regal, they seem to be much more on point and in tune with Forge Blitz. Always seem to be in the right position at the right time, out-strategizing Aerox at the start, and they're winning the initials here in this round as well. Oh, little button press, Ash with the bait. I like that, indeed, but tricky position. Not much cover as pressure is applied. However, Aerox are coming off respawn, Incisive with the kill on Strikers. A little bit of a ticket there to push through the E-Hill with relative numbers.
Indeed, look, this Aerox are in a bit of a difficult situation here. Shadows is just trying to be a little bit sneaky, but he recognises that He's been spotted, and Ashens does take down Dragons, so they do have the numbers advantage for a very short period of time. They do have the 2 hills as well. They don't need to do anything too drastic. Just try and set up, try and ensure that Regal Reserve don't find a hole in the setup, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. Toby, thoughts?
Yeah. Thoughts are, Aerox need to take a breather and just maintain their position as best they can. If there's an opportunity to push up and take down a player using the numbers that they have over at the E-Hill or position closely, then do so. But saying that, it's actually Regal who make the first move, as they do need to. Shadow's pushing straight to 2. We need to get 1 kill very soon. No, he's not able to, and as such, Aerox should be able to defend the FL, although I say that, more Regal players are funneled over to the FL. But what has happened at the E-Hill for them to be blinking? A triple cap here on our screens.
I can't quite work that out, Toby. I mean, they just had 2 kills in their favour, and they're being trip cap dominated. So I just can't work that out. What is? It seems like there's something fundamentally wrong at the moment for Aerox, and they need to sort it out. It looked better for a moment there, but again, it just went back to Regal Reserve out. Ooh. Rotating these people. Shadows again with the 2v1, and he doesn't. Oh, J-Rage spots him perfectly. Well played from him. But now Regal Reserve, they are on the assault. They do have the decap of the E-Hill. Although Aerox are building up the points, the F-Hill is also going to be trip cap dominated. Well played from J-Rage to get yet another kill, but Swift, he does swiftly take him down. Well played from him. Sammy KLT has to get out, and look, Regal Reserve, they have the points. They are on the offense. Advantage Regal.
2 players versus Swift on this cover. Swift can get angled perhaps for a second from E, but no, Shadows is there. Right body to body in case he goes down, spamming X ready to revive.
Look at this. Look at the rotation from Swift.
The Lancer!
Well played from Little Ashens. I was just about to say, well played from him to recognise that. Brilliant stuff, very strategic, very methodical, and Little Ashens, he's been fantastic so far, but now he's going to go up top. He has got a 1v1. Die6 doesn't really know what he's going to do, so he's going to back off.
The score. Look how even it is at the moment. The E-Hill is going to be captured for us just a second as the button was pressed. And here are Aerox pushing for control of that side of the map. If they get it, they should be able to win out via points. But Regal, how are they responding? It's straight to the F-Hill for them on the opposite side. Ashton's trying to defend on his own, but he's not able to. 2v1 against him there. J-Rage on his own in the office as Die6 throws himself at J-Rage. Another player goes down, and Aerox, their defense is slowly being whittled away. Sammy is now going to challenge in front of him. Die6 does lose that though, and Sammy holds on. Look how close the score is. It's nail-bitingly close. 2-8, 209. Regal Reserve do get it.
That was so unlucky there from Aerox, but Regal Reserve, they're just finding the way to shut down these rounds, the kind of close moments that they're finding themselves in. But Aerox again, what went wrong there? How have they let that happen? They had the advantages for most of that round, in my opinion, but they just couldn't. They couldn't close it out.
As the 2 players were pushing Ashens, perhaps Ashens could have been further back there and maybe in the spawn, knowing his team are really far pushed up on the east side of the map. It's obvious that Regal are going to try and push elsewhere while he's in his own. Numbers to numbers. Maybe he could have pulled back all the way back to this point where Dragons is now lancering instead of being right on the F-Hill. Who knows? J-Rage rotation over to support him. A little bit slow. Sammy was nowhere near. They were all separated, and as such, they just got 1v1 when there really shouldn't have been any 1v1s. They should have been abusing their numbers advantage. Fortunately for Aerox, Regal took advantage of perhaps some complacency there.
Well, it's match point for Regal Reserve, and Sice with a double kill there. Well played from him, and J-Rage takes down Dragon. So this is better from Aerox. They have the boom shot in hand. They need to put the pressure on, just make sure they try and close this out as quick as they can, but really Shadows is making a good job of making a nuisance of himself. Oh, Ashens just takes him down there. Shadows, I thought, was maybe looking like he was going to get the kill, but now we see that, the Regal Reserve lads, they are back up, so Aerox, they don't need to do anything too drastic at this point.
Of course, the second half, DF and E-Hills do have a little bit of a different dynamic to the first half.
Good cross.
And how it plays out. The respawn timer is, of course, still short. So, triple caps looming, of course, at all times. But might be better setting up just a little bit. Ash, speaking of setups, he does utilize that boom shot as the new wave of respawns comes through and challenges them for that. Boom shot trade, though.
Well, I just want to say here, these 2 Regal Reserve players are in no man's land up top. One has rotated back and done a good job in stopping it. I just thought there for a second that Aerox had the opportunity to sneak the trip cap, but I'm well played from Strikers yet again to recognise that and do one for his team.
Shadow's hiding out here at the D-Hill. Not sure if Ashens is aware. Just waiting for a moment to strike. Ashens on his own again. This is an opportunity for Regal to push. They are pushing the E-Hill. The E-Hill, though, instead. Ash will fall. Striker's getting that kill. Die6 is pushing to Sammy. Sammy wins that 1v. That's crucial. But he will eventually fall, and Regal Reserve, they take control of the E-Hill. Already overextending to the D-Hill as well. Ashens, he's still in the same position. He's going to get outnumbered as Ash comes to try and stop this map from ending. Smoke goes in. Swarm protection gone. He will get dropped. Incisive trying to fly through. He will not reach it. Regal Reserve take this map 7-1.
And what a convincing way to do it. They are up on their feet. They're getting hype. The man strikers on your screen there, 15 kills, 9 down, slaying out when it mattered. Regal Reserve did a brilliant job to reply, especially after losing that last map in such a close encounter. Regal Reserve, in my opinion, Toby, I know, of course, they lost that last map 7-6, but they are looking like the stronger team right now. Aerox, after losing that there, they need to do something to recuperate and come back at them.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the numbers, right? 7-6 first map, Aerox's map, of course. Their pick, Regal Reserve, their pick, 7-1. It's a big difference. A big contrast in terms of how they performed on the respective maps. So yeah, I mean, Regal, after coming back and losing that last round on Impact, you thought they might be deflated after that. No, they just 7-1 Aerox, and they were playing great from the start. It was clear as day who the better team was on that map throughout. And the one round that Aerox did win, it was because of a boom shot placement. It was a bit of a unique round, shall we call it. So they didn't ever really have an answer for Regal outside of that relative placement. Exactly. So yeah, Regal, definite lockdown on that map. The numbers and gameplay shows it equally so. We're going to Reclaimed next. A bit more familiar map, shall we say. It's a much more popular map. I think Forge Blitz is definitely Regal's map. I think Aerox don't really have too much of a stranglehold on that one, shall we say, compared to Impact and other maps. A much more weaker map, but much more so Regal having a uniquely strong map, shall we say, in Forge Blitz. But more common map is my point we're going to now of Reclaimed. Both teams should be locked in. They should know exactly how they're going to play this one initial-wise. And I think it's going to come down to that bowl fight early on. Who's got the momentum going into this one?
For me, it's definitely Regal Reserve, of course. You saw that, as you just said, it was beautiful. It was exquisite Gears of War that Regal Reserve just played there, and Aerox just looked like they didn't have an answer to any of the rotations that Regal Reserve were doing. Didn't have an answer to really anything that Regal Reserve are doing generally. So they're definitely going to be on a high from that. You saw them getting up on their feet. They're very hyped, and we've said it before. I know that we've commentated Regal Reserve and obviously the old Lucent teams, the two Spanish teams here in Europe. They are a team who, once they are hyped, it's pretty hard to stop them. It's going to take a very special piece of Gears of War to stop them in their tracks. So yeah, and I'm sure. But obviously, yes, Aerox, they have done it before. They have come back from difficult situations. You look at, they lost to Lucent. They lost it, in a very close encounter. But they came back and won 7-1, 7-2 against the last opponent. So I'm confident they can regroup. What they need is Incisive. They need Little Ashens. They need Ash to all step up the games, because that, from a slaying perspective, was not good enough from them.
Yep, no doubt. The thing is, whoever loses this last map, despite it being such a great game, whoever loses is going home. They're finished. And the other team will progress forward, and they will have so much momentum and positional advantage here, actually progressing in the tournament, that it's nerve-wracking. It's totally nerve-wracking for both these two teams. Both have quieted down as Reclaim starts loading up.
More nerve-wracking than that. And that Impact 7-6, more nerve-wracking than that.
I mean, we're all running out of nerves, that's for sure. We're all shaking as it is. Regal Reserve definitely produced a different dynamic, I guess, with Forge Blitz. It wasn't as close. Elliot, we're going into Reclaim, my friend.
We are indeed. It is Reclaimed. It is 1-1 between these two fantastic teams. Let's get straight into it. We're going to jump on board with J-Rage. I know he likes to play that kind of bold position. It's going to be interesting to see how he's going to get that fight done and what he's going to do in that situation. He looked very good against Lucent. I'm sorry to keep going back to it, but that was a very good watch. Toby, what would you like to see in this bowl fight?
I mean, it depends really. Aerox, they don't have to go for this bowl fight. I'd be scared, if anything, after playing the shotguns of Regal. I would play it safe. If you have the opportunity to outstrap them here in this bowl fight, then I think their teamwork really does favour them on the majority of maps. It seems like they're doing that. They're playing it a little bit slower. They're progressing one by one. They're snowballing these kills. Here comes Swift. Can't pull off anything. And Aerox, without any deaths, are cleanly taking control of B and pushing on.
Taking care of business right now, Aerox, so well played from them. They have 2 members down, Regal Reserve, so but I don't agree with this, essentially. It's a little bit too aggressive for me, but if it works out for them, then fair play. J-Rage does get the kill, but Ash does get taken out, and now I don't think Dice knows that the hill is there. I don't know what he's trying to do. Go back to the hill, sir, please. Otherwise, it's going to be dodgy games for you, and that's exactly what it is. This is a massive 1v1. Dice does get the kill on Sammy KLT, and now it's all up to Ashens. I think he just gets out, but no, Regal Reserve, they do defend. Well played from them.
Well, triple cap stops, and Regal Reserve is essentially a 2v2 if you look at the top end of the map for this B hill. The control is still there for Aerox, so Regal, they're going to try and push up and at least get the break in it before the stalemate waits for resources to continue on. Regal Dragons stuck in the corner. Aerox trying their best to angle him out, abuse that smart positioning, the lancers, the teamwork that we're talking about. Ooh, what a shot that was on Ash. Brilliant stuff. Dragons being that flashy player once again that we always talk about. But here come the steamroll from Regal. They take kills up top, they take kills down bottom. Look at the player, Swift flying over to the C hill already. Triple cap blinking in front of us.
And look, Regal Reserve, they turned it around again. Aerox were mere minutes ago on the offense, so we're trip capping themselves, but Regal Reserve say no, not today. They turn the tables 1-0. Regal Reserve. Very similar story to that last map, Toby.
Yeah, yep, indeed. What I'm thinking about right now is what to do for Aerox, because they won that initial cleanly. They played it slow. There's still opportunity to change things up there in that fight, so I wouldn't necessarily do anything extreme. However, saying that, I mean, a weapon down workshop is not going to be, but a weapon down workshop and splitting up the players the initial might be a tactical choice that benefits Aerox in that different fight. I think in that different scenario, Regal's advantage is their shotguns, and so through any means, definitely my advice to Aerox, despite that round loss there. A hiccup going for that triple cap is try and play it differently than you usually would, and don't just run in shotgunning heavy.
Yeah, no, they don't need to do anything too. Yeah, like you said, they don't need to be too aggressive, but I said it, didn't I, Toby? I called in that position. They didn't need to be too aggressive in that position, but they did, and it didn't work out for them. But well played. Ash does take down one, Lashens does take down Dragons, and he's now in a very sticky situation. Great team fight from him. Ooh, Strikers takes down his head, and again he takes down the second piece as well. Well played from him, and now, look, Sammy KLT is all on his own. He has to just go back and protect the home hill, and he does go down though. So Regal Reserve, they are on the offensive. Is this going to be another trip cap domination? It's all up to Incisive. He does go down. He gets taken out by Strikers. Strikers slaying like Strikers does. Well played from Ashens to stop him in his tracks, and Aerox, they live to fight another day in that sense.
Can they get this kill on die 6s and then snowball that into Dragons, who's not in a great position right now? He's going to have to run across the map. Only one pistol though, unfortunately, and that's Ashens shooting down. That was a potential down for me right there, as 3 players were looking that way after capping, or getting to the A hill at least. They still need to cap it. They'll wait for the last spawn to go ahead and cap that one as they start rotating up to the B hill. Taking a while though. They are taking a while for sure. Still haven't capped that. There might be a miscommunication at this point. Here comes the push up top though, and the Regal Reserve do have a numbers advantage and they have a points advantage. They have map control. Swift is in a great position to angle. Aerox, they need to fly because they're about to get pinched.
And it just looks like they haven't got the answers. They're almost walking into a brick wall head first. Look, but no, Lashens, he does respond, but I think that's it. 4 seconds. It's all up to J-Rage. He gets taken out brilliantly by Swift, and that's 2-0, and they are getting hyped on this main stage. Look at that lad there. And look, I said it. When they're hyped like this Spanish team is very, very hard to stop them in their tracks, and Aerox, they're on the forefront, they're on the full force of that right now, because they have not got an answer for this Regal Reserve.
It's evident that both teams have this map as their bread and butter. They know how to play it. Aerox, their initials have been good, to be honest. They've had great answers for Regal when they do push in. They do return those shotgun fights. They are going wide with the lancers, but Regal Reserve, that mid-round point, Aerox were just a little bit complacent. They had a down opportunity. They could have snowballed that triple cap defensive into a clear push up to B hill, but they didn't. They took ages to regroup there. They didn't even cap their home hill for ages. thought they were just going to leave it to the last spawn out there, but no. Players were just rotating up top instead, and yeah, it was very shaky indeed from Aerox, if nothing else there.
The nerves in the Aerox camp are truly showing right now, and well played incisive. He does take down strikers. Regal are kept at bay just for the moment, and J-Ray does take down Swift as well, so this is much better from Aerox. But as we've seen before, can they capitalise when they have the advantage? This is great plant to fireball. I like this from Aerox. Really well played. Great shot from Ashens. He does get the two-piece, and now Aerox are just going to move up onto the home hill of Regal Reserve. They cannot panic, though. They cannot let it slip. They just need to take their time and be patient. Well played. J-Rage does just that, and he's got another one. Tries to go for the shot there. Oh, this is so close. Well played from Ashens, and that, I believe, is going to be Aerox's round. Better stuff from them.
Yep, this time they go for the triple cap, and they are successful at that. They did keep close to each other, just played for the damage, avoided the Gibbs, and the pushes from Regal. Good stuff. This is better from them.
I just said that.
Yeah, you did. Look, mate. Joking.
The sniper goes down.
Whoever plays for wise, you're right. It's a sniper up top for Regal Reserve. Now, if you do push into the ball and go for that quick pickup, that is its advantage at that point, because there's so many Lancers standing still trying to angle through the railing at the back that a snipe shot, little pop shot over the top, it can be the change in fight straight away and the outcome. So it is one of these weapons, perhaps, in this scenario in front of us where a sniper quick pickup could be advantageous, just as if a boom shot position pickup would. Not as so, but there is the potential there, so please do keep an eye on that at home.
Well, let's hope the sniper doesn't get in the hands of Dragons. He's obviously very good with those marksman-style weapons. This is a good push from Strikers again, does take down Ash in emphatic form. And my man, this is a fantastic spectacle so far, and it's been such a pleasure to cast it with you so far, Toby.
Dragons gets it down on Ashens. He's trying to push up as a player is actually flanking round. So that's brilliant stuff from Shadows. He's right there in tune with Dragons as they pinch at the right time. That's a nice 2v1 on Incisive. And the snipe is their reward. Okay, Shadows wants it. Dragons, you're going to oblige? Yeah. Okay, yeah. And there they go. Dragons is not going to have that weapon. Surprising, actually.
Good swap.
Yeah. Team players.
Team players.
Team players.
Yeah.
I think Dragons would have really liked that after using the M-bar, but maybe Shadows is like, you know what? I'm feeling myself. I'm a good sniper. I'm going to aim at the enemy spawn here with a sniper. Here's the thing. They haven't capped the home hill, Aerox. Look at the points lead that is building slowly for Regal. Oh my, it's not a good scenario. They're starting to rotate round. Aiming that barrel down, looking for that snipe shot. Not going to connect with J-Rage, but he has reached that corner. Aerox are progressing up to this B-hill.
It's tense stuff, Toby Campbell, and you wouldn't want to miss a minute of it. I thought that was a standstill, surely, but he has missed it. Nevertheless, though, Dragons takes out Incisive. They are one man up. And Aerox, they're just trying to force numbers on this well area, and it's not working out for them at all, because look, the trip cap is coming in. Sammy KLT is in no man's land. He gets taken down. J-Rage and Little Ashens are just forced to stay kept back, but as I say that, Shadows does rip the head of Little Ashens, and this is Regal Reserve's round, ladies and gentlemen. They're just playing better Gears of War right now.
Indeed they are, indeed they are. Couldn't put it better myself, and you know what, Shadows, we were on board with him for the majority of that round there. That snipe in the bowl, when Aerox are rotating, when a team's rotating up, you saw Ashens, he needed to Lancer. He absolutely had to Lancer in order to allow his team to push up the staircase and eventually push that sniper. The issue is, that sniper is going to be aiming at you, and it makes it so much more difficult to push up. The presence, the pressure that sniper provides is much more tactical in nature than just straight raw power and through kill count. And as such, Regal, that defense was made a lot easier due to that snipe. They placed it themselves, they got control of it. Well played, Regal, strategizing to perfection.
Brilliant stuff as well. Again, Regal Reserve, they do get to the first blood, taking down J-Rage, but Ash does respond, so good well played from him. Great shots from strikers, and look, this is just back and forth in this bowl area. Both teams playing for the sniper, and I don't really know what quite happened there. Little Ashens does get caught in the fire, and Incisive does get down as well, and look, it is 4 men down momentarily, and the trip cap domination is getting in. Sammy KLT, all up to him, he just about clinches it, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Strikers is there just to take him down. He's got a massive 1v with J-Rage, who is going to come out on top. This is rocky stuff here. Oh, just so close. I think Aerox have just about defended it. Well played from them.
Yeah, Regal didn't commit there, evidently. It was only just strikers in that hill trying to cap that one up. While Regal Reserve are building up a score lead, they've got the sniper. This is deja vu. It's the exact same scenario as last time. Shadows even has the sniper in hand as well. But Aerox trying to push up before the strongest setup possible is made by Regal. Shadows sticking on board with him as he rotates around the apples. He's had the call out from Dragons. Aerox, this is better from them. They're applying the pressure. They're trying to go through shock and door, but the body check comes through. Dragons finds Ash, and the team fight is going the way of Regal up top, it seems. That's a 4-man down for Aerox. Sammy overextending.
Do it!
To try and stop this triple cap. He's in there, but players all around him.
I thought he was going to try and go for the sniper shot in the smoke there, and look, yeah, you said it right. The numbers just go in Regal Reserve's favour yet again. Aerox, they are looking very down in the dumps. They do not have anything at the moment. Toby Campbell, it's not a good sight to see.
It's a strat change now that I'd like to see from Aerox. We're coming up to the end of the first half. In fact, this next round is the end of the first half. So, tell you what, boom shutdown bomb, if possible. No, you can't. Unfortunately, there's a placement here in front of us. Boltox. Well, that's not going to change it up too much, I don't think, but it will lend itself to the more passive play rather than just getting into that bowl and go for that snipe. Boltox might be a differentiator.
You won't be saying that, Toby Campbell, if there's a 3-man headshot by the Boltox like we've seen before by the man, the myth, the legend himself,
Odds?
Crazed.
Odds.
Odds? No, we're not going to play that game right now, Toby. We're going to get back into the action. No, obviously, of course, the sniper is this is such a prominent fight here, and Regal Reserve, they have come out on top. Both times it's been up so far. So Aerox, they need to answer. They need to focus on that area, and they need to shut down Regal Reserve like they did in that impact game, reminiscent of that tail area, and they do just that. Little Ashens does pick up a kill, and so does Ash. Die6 does get a kill for himself, but now look here, we have the position now, Aerox. You have the advantages. Brilliant. You have another man down. That's great Lancer fire there from Incisive. He has the sniper in his hands. Put some pressure on. Go for the trick cap, and they're going to do just that. And I don't think anyone's going to be there in time. That is going to be an Aerox round. Better stuff.
Better from Aerox to cleanly win that initial. You saw Incisive immediately getting on that cover and getting to the Lancer fire there. Aerox were definitely on the same page at the conclusion of that first half rather. Now I wonder, going into the second half, how these two teams are going to play it. My prediction: Regal will fly top table. That's a different map. That's Foundation. Top barn, Elliot. But how are Aerox going to play it? They played it slow so far in this bowl fight, right? The main team fight. I see them doing that again here. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see in a later round, perhaps a boom shot down bottom. A sniper up top might be actually very good for either team here, depending on how it plays. But we won't get ahead of ourselves. Let's kick this second half off.
Yeah, and by no means, Aerox shouldn't be discounting themselves. By no means yet. This is still in touching distance, but not when Regal Swift is doing Regal Swift things like that. And he does also get Ashens down, and the numbers are going in the favour of Regal Reserve at the moment. But Ash does respond with a kill himself, but he's in such a bad position. He does get taken down swiftly. Dragon's taking down the kill, and look, Regal Reserve, they're just being aggressive. Or are they actually? No, they decide to rotate out. But again, advantage Regal Reserve.
I like it though. That's Regal gameplay. In its purest form. They're just running around the map, searching for kills, headhunting all around that E hill. And Aerox were perhaps a little bit lucky to survive there. They got just about enough kills to stop them from going for that triple cap. Aerox, their response here is to fly at the enemy's home hill. 3 players to be exact here on this D hill. They will break it. Oh! Shadows runs through the smoke. A monster appears and takes down J-Rage, consumes him, if you will. Incisive does get some kills back, but only 2 players left alive for Aerox. They don't have E control. They're all the way at the back of the map. Regal have very strong map control now.
Yeah, I don't think he saw him at all. J-Rage just caught off guard, but again, Epson Ash, he's been the one who's been getting the kills back, and you know, he's been making sure that the damage isn't being done too much. Regal Reserve, though, they've got the points up. Look, 30 points ahead. Aerox do need to do something. They do need to at least get a decap, and that's just what they do. J-Rage doing well there, and this is going to be a scrappy scrap. What a shot from Regal Swift, but I say that 2 kills in the favour of Aerox go in, so now it's their chance to maybe put a little bit of pressure. Having said that, though, they don't need to do anything too drastic, but look at Dysix, he's just doing the rotation, the same rotation that Aerox have just done to them a minute ago.
Yep. Points gap is slowly closing. Regal still in the lead. Nice little bouncing from Dysix's, but he does need to bow eventually out of there, as the respawns do start coming through, of course, first round of the second half. Checking down with the top bun as the battle there ensues. Aerox, J-Rage will get the kill on Dragons to slow things down. Aerox, they have control here of the E-Hill. They might win this team fight and start pushing up for a triple. We'll have to see. No, Dysix and Strikers actually get a double.
And this, I think, is going to be a potential trip cap domination. They have definitely got the numbers. They've definitely got the advantages. Dragons, who's up first, he's going to try and stop it from happening. But as I say that, on the other end of the map, E gets taken down. Regal Reserve, they do get the kill on the home as well. Look at the jelly legs there.
My camera.
That's a perfect example of jelly legs, if I've ever seen one.
That was scary. I just turned to that and all I see is screen shaking.
You scared me, to be honest, the way you reacted, Toby.
What's going on? My machine's broken. I don't know. Shadows is extremely fast. Perhaps the fastest bouncer in Europe. Look at the score. It's a close one. It's coming down to the wire.
Oh, just about enough. Regal Dragons, he takes down Epson Ash, and Regal Reserve, they are again up on their feet. Well played from them. 5-2 in the team of Regal Reserve here. Aerox, though, again, they had the advantage. Did they not see the guy rotating to E? Did they not have any eyes there in that position?
I think that last quarter of the round was so hectic, and Regal were just playing their game, running around as individuals and taking kills, that Aerox couldn't control them. They couldn't keep track of all those players. They lost too many shotgun 1Bs at the end of the day, and Regal abused that very well indeed. Boom shot now up top in mana. And it's looking bleak, honestly, for Aerox. 2 rounds needed for Regal. As good as they're playing, you'd expect them to win through raw initials eventually. Aerox putting the boom shot down. So that changes the dynamic up massively. But it's going straight back to the initial up top. Well, perhaps they favor themselves in that. But, of course, the quick pickup is looming for that boom shot in the bowl as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a stretch scrap, and Strikers and Dragons, they show why they are Slayers. They do take down Incisive and Ashens. It's all up to Ash here. He's just toyed with by Dragons, and he does pick up the boom as well. That's going to be 4 dead, 5 dead from Aerox and Regal Reserve. They are on fire right now, and I do believe this is going to be a trip cap. They've got all the advantage to do so. It's all up to Incisive. Look at the team fight that's coming in. He just about gets in. Regal Reserve gets out with his life as well, but Dragons is there to shoot the boomer, and again, they are back on the Swarm Cat domination. Hello there's the chainsaw. Now the Texas Chainsaw Massacre butchering him a new one, and look at Ash needs to turn around. He needs to try and take something, do something here. It's all too fast paced, but it just looks like Regal Reserve, they're getting the kills necessary, and Shadow's there. He ends it. Regal Reserve are 6-2 up. And if I could speak Spanish, I wouldn't translate it anyway because it's probably too rude for the viewers there, but no, it's... Look at the hype they've got there. Look at the passion that they're showing Regal Reserve and Aerox. You know, this Regal Reserve team, they're definitely in the heads of these Aerox players.
That's how much it means to them. Regal getting up and getting loud. 4-round lead. Remember the first map? We had 5 rounds in a row from both sides to come to a round 13. Looking bleak, though, for Aerox in this scenario. They look deflated, and Regal are playing as good as ever. Reclaimed is offering some fast-paced action that Regal are delivering for us here. Same exact strategy. This could be it. Match point now. Losers bracket semi-final. Regal is going to scrap with Aerox here.
It is. It's going to be a massive scrap, and it's who comes on top. That's well played from Dragons again. He is so good. He's firing on all cylinders right now, and it's all up to J-Rage. Oh, again, he just takes him down. I think that's going to be it. 4 dead. It's all up to Sammy KLT. He needs to do something here. He has capped the E-Hill. So for now, Aerox are safe, but they're not, I don't think, going to get their home hill by any means necessary, because look, the boom shot is just there, but a fire boom shot doesn't come to fruition. It comes to nothing. And look, Regal Reserve are just going to rotate off. Aerox live to fight another day. I've seen that.
Boom shot down?
The boom does go down, though. Great lance of fire from him. They just need to make sure they try and capitalize on that. No, they don't. Dragons does get out of his life. Sammy KLT does take one down. Just missed out there. Well played. This is better from Aerox. They're getting the kills and they are going in their favor.
That was Aerox's opportunity. If they could have taken down Dragons, he's still got one boom shot left. I'm not too sure. I think he might do on his back there. He's keeping his shotgun out nonetheless. That suggests not. Ashens takes him down nonetheless. But Regal still keeping up this numbers advantage. Is back down to Ash and Ashens on their own. Ashen says no, takes down Strikers. Great up A. And they get E control. Aerox are out of the woods for now, perhaps. But Regal still snowballing with the numbers flying after him.
Indeed, but it's back and forth at the moment. Aerox did. I mean, again, shout out to Sammy KLT. He's done well to ensure that the trip cap didn't come in that initial there when they picked up the boomer. And just on your screen there, you saw that Ash did take a double. So I'd like to see them rotate up to the boom, set up maybe for the next one. They don't need to put too much pressure on this.
They need to hurry up here.
He does need to hurry up.
Dragons is on his own. Yep, J-Rage is
getting him. Yes,
on the pinch,
he does
so
go
do
down.
Get the kill.
Well played from him. So
the concern is the boom shot. The concern is the map control. They're trying to set up here. Aerox had a 4v1 for a long time there. They did take it out in time. Just about, but they're still getting into a team fight straight off the bat. Shadows and Dice6 is the last ones alive. It's 3v2 as the numbers go, and the boom shot consideration should be very much on their minds. J-Rage might lose this, and he does. It's a 2v2 now. Shadows has reason to fly at the boom shot, and all of a sudden, the numbers are gone.
And we've seen this so many times. Aerox cannot shut it down when it comes to those moments, and again, we saw it. Wow. Could not take the 1v to try and get the trip cap. Sorry, I just lost my breath there. That was happened so quick. And Ash does have the opportunity to pick up the boomer, but he is going to be lanced out, so he's not going to be able to do so just yet.
Great job staying alive.
Yeah, indeed, definitely 100%. And I'd just like it to see it. If Incisive he does go down though, that's not good. Sammy KLT is going to be there, and so is Incisive to back him up, so that's really good play. But look, they are in no man's land. Look, the trip cap domination is coming in from Dice6. I don't think it's going to be enough. Should take that down. Well played from Ashens. Incisive though, I know, sorry, on your screen, he does go down. Sammy KLT takes him down, and look, I'd like to see Aerox. They've got the boom in hand, put some pressure.
Can they take down Dragons here without utilising a boom shot? I don't know how he's still alive, but he touched it on Sammy KLT. Ash has still got the boom shot, but he's not been able to rotate, but now he does. He goes to the D hill. Thankfully, his team are able to dispatch of the enemies on his own home hill. Keep a close eye on the score. They will overtake and win by points if Ash can hold the enemy's home hill. But he's going to lose the boom shot, unfortunately.
I can't believe what I've just seen. How has he allowed that to happen?
I think that's 2 boom shots on the floor, and that's the ticket to this map. Unfortunately, 2 boom shots in the hands of Strikers. The numbers situation is still in favour of Aerox, but we're closing down into the closing moments here. Regal needs to fly with his boom shot. Ashen's trying to bait the boom shot out. He loses that one. But J-Rage and Sammy get kills. Look at the score, Darko.
I think it's going to be Aerox's round. I don't see how Regal Reserve are possibly going to make a move to get a... Yeah, exactly. Look there. Aerox, by the skin of their teeth, by the thread of the woolly socks that they are wearing today, they just clinched that out. And it takes moments like these to really fire up a team. And is that it, Toby?
I'm just considering what's in that player's mind there. Ash, the decision making with that boom shot was questionable. He was running around with 2. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yes, it was a very odd scenario. Lots of smokes and whatnot. His teammates were wrapping up kills and he was saving them. But in the end, he had a boom shot on the enemy's home hill. He got stunned and simply killed. He didn't even have to necessarily be there for that long. He could have just baited and used that boom shot and just stayed alive and applied the presence. But he lost it in the end. I'm sure he's just doubting how he played that in the end, and the best thing to do is just forget about that in the end and go into this round as you would normally.
Yeah, well, nerves, they do have effect on your brain. Again, Aerox have taken down 2, but again, it's just back and forth in this boom shot area. Ash needs to ensure they do not get the boom shot, but Swift has all picked up too easily. He's just missed that. Very unlucky there from Swift, but it doesn't matter because Strikers has taken it down anyway. I think that's going to be it.
J-Rage.
4 people down. It's all up to J-Rage. This is a huge, huge moment for this young lad.
He did just run over the hill, so they're aware of exactly where he is as it blinked. That's why he hasn't capped it just yet, I think. He was wary of players approaching his position. He does stay alive. Now they can start to cap this. So Aerox, they have time to breathe. not in a good position, of course, as Regal are set up strong on their home hill. Bringing up the overhead, they are pretty much strongly positioned down. 4 members exactly over down to the bottom end of the map by the E-Hill Regal. Up top.
Well, I probably hyped that up a little bit too much. I don't think Regal Reserve were in any position to take the E-Hill there, but nonetheless, that's what we love. We love Gears of War because it could just change at any moment. Shadows does go down. Is that this moment? Epsilon Ash is going to take the advantage here. He's going to try and get the kill. He does. Questionable. Well played there. Just gets the damage on Chash. This is a massive fight. If he can take this, then they do have advantage on one side of the map. Ashens does take down Die6 as well. This is huge. Is it going to happen? Well played, Ash.
Great shotgun.
Brilliant shotgunning there. And now Swift is in no man's land. I think this is going to be an Aerox, another Aerox round. It is. Well played from Aerox. They're showing life.
And there's J-Rage at the end there in game, rotating from the E-Hill with his team. The perfect moment to the enemy's hill to get that triple cap. Shout out to Ash, by the way. I mean, it was more so Shadows perhaps making the mistake, getting Lancer down, and the ticket there, it was right for Aerox to retake their home hill, but Ash pretty much did that single-handedly right up until the end. Double back as the Regal player pushed him, and playing the damage game as textbook as you can. Well done to Ash there.
Well, for all the viewers that know this reference, but always expect the double back, Toby. What a great wise man once told me. And he did not, and he got punished for it.
He got up 8.
He got up 8, exactly. But no, I felt like Ash, just then he may have missed that shot, maybe a little bit of a misplay there.
A little bit of accuracy concerns, but he did make up for it decision-making wise, and that's where I guess the shotgunning and the 1v1 gameplay did prevail. Let's see how this one goes down. 6-4, boom shot still there. Regal being the most aggressive team.
They are indeed, and look here, we're going to go back into this fight. It is match point, by the way, for Regal Reserve. Incisive does get
Dragons.
one. I think he took
Boom
down.
shot down.
I don't know what's happened quite there, but obviously Strikers does get out with his life. Unlucky from Little Ashens. Epsilon Ash on the other side does take down Regal Swift, so now this is it. They have got an advantage. It's 3 down for Regal Reserve. Are they going to try and take this to 6-5? And that's brilliant booms there. They now can put pressure on the D hill and the home hills. Toby, what was your thoughts there?
Oh my, the boom shot currently gone. By the way, that's been utilized, so triple cap might not be looming just yet, although it might be. As I eat my words, Cog domination die for now. The D-Hill fight continues, but Regal hold on. But to answer your question, Elliot, I think there was a mistake from Dragons, the man on your screen. He picked up the boom shot, and then for some reason, he was on the corner. It looked like he must have been up-baiting Ashens or something, because the boom shot was right at his feet there as he was at the back. Sit back, shoot the boom shot, don't get closer. It's absolutely not necessary when the numbers are there and the boom shot is in your hand. Questionable stuff from Dragons and Aerox. Shout out to them. They took advantage, and here they are with the double cap.
Well, they do not have a boom. Just to let you guys know, they do not have a boom. There's no boom in play at the moment, but it is going to be respawning very shortly. So this is going to go to just a classic fight of who's got the better shotgun, who can take the first kill, and who can support.
But Aerox playing passive. In general, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, passiveness is good. Try and out-strategize the shotguns of the Spaniards is where you do best, but they've been a bit passive here. They've allowed Regal to break the hill without any punishment, no kills, no damage. Here comes Die6's. Ash is in the wet. Aerox, can they respond? They need to get this kill back. They do. Sammy stays alive, but he's full red, and Regal are pushing up as all this is going on. J-Rage angled out.
Brilliant play there from the Regal Reserve lad, taking him down. But look, here we go. This is 2 caps in the favour of Regal Reserve, and the E is uncapped, so they are going to build up points. Incisive does a great job in taking down Shadows when it felt like he was going to take the advantage. Well played by him, and now look at the play that Aerox are having to make. They're having to defend, and that same moment on the other side of your screen, Swift has picked up the boom shot. And remember, look at the players. They are bunched together. They need to spread out. They do not want to get put down, just like that man of Aerox has just done. And now Regal Reserve will just slow this down. They don't need to do anything too drastic. They just need to wait for the right opportune moment. Here we go, Toby.
Shaky stuff there for Aerox. They were caught in no man's land with players flying at them. They do live to fight another day. 20-second point lead thereabouts for Regal in the score department. Swift with the boom shot at his home hill. They're aware exactly of what Aerox is trying to do, throwing numbers at the home street, rightfully so, saving that boom shot, taking Incisive down. Ash is on his own. He's going to get boom shot. It's simple as that. 3 members left alive for Aerox, 5 for Regal. Points lead gaining. That might have been the last push of the game.
If you're an Aerox fan, you do not want to see this, because look, they're on the assault. It's all up to Sammy KLT again. We've said that many times before. The flank is coming in and the decap domination is coming in. I think that's going to be it. Regal Reserve, they have done this, I believe. I don't think they're going to get there on time, and that is it. They are taking 2-1. Welcome to Championship Sunday.
Wow. The energy on stage and in game is off the charts. 7-4 the final score. Shaky times for Aerox, but amazing gameplay for Regal. They're essentially robots. They're just cyborgs. It doesn't seem like they get deflated at any point. And if they do, it's for a very brief moment. They keep on the gas and keep firing away on all pistons. And Regal, they send Aerox home.
They do indeed, and that is not what you want to see if you're an Aerox fan.
It's not what you like to see.
It's not what you like to see, but you know, it just goes to show that the passion that these Regal Reserve guys have, you don't like to see it get that far, or go too far like that. But you know, it does go to show that the passion the EU scene does still have, and you know, it is alive, and you can see it here on your screens. Regal Reserve, look at what it meant to them to win. Look at the passion they had, the sheer relief almost as well, because Aerox looked like they were coming back for a moment there. You know, they did take it to 6-4, and obviously there were a couple of times when they had positions to take advantages, but unfortunately they just didn't.
Yeah, I mean, there was lots of points where you could really criticize Aerox in that map. It was very shaky at moments. Regal Reserve, great weapon placements and whatnot there. Especially, we start off with the snipe, right? Up top on the bowl, they made great use of that. The boom shot placement up top for Aerox, questionable, a little bit questionable, of course, because that forces it on paper, the fight, exactly where Regal do best, right? Is up close in your face.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they had such a round count deficit to come back from that you'd expect eventually Regal would just win through. So, questionable times, I guess. John, what are your opinions on that one, my friend?
Wow. I mean, that's all I can say. What a match that was. The first map, the drama behind it, the comeback that came through for Regal. 6-6, a pause comes through. A little bit of screen peeking happened in between that. You guys called that brilliantly. But the entire match is a lot closer than I think all of us expected. Ultimately, Regal does come out on top, and I continue to be impressed by their skill, by their explosiveness. I mean, they're a team that just at any moment can fire off. It was really a beautiful display of skill.
Yeah,
I think it's just that as well, is that they can just turn it on at any given moment. I think you kind of said it perfectly. Look, they were 6-1 down on impact, okay? And obviously, of course, I know they didn't win that map. Aerox just clinched out at the last minute, but look how they just turned it on and completely changed it. It's incredible stuff to see, and I just wish they can keep that constant. I just wish that they could do that all the time. If they could play like that all the time, who knows? They could be really pushing for a top 3 placement at this event. Yeah,
and I think the biggest issue that they face, consistency is a big part of it, but the way they play works against certain play styles. I think it exposes the play style of a team like Aerox, who has the veteran experience, but allows you to get in your face, allows the other team to show such individual skill. But once you start going up against the likes of Space Station, some of these top North American teams, they're not going to let you get away with some of the stuff that Regal gets away with. So I'm interested to see whether it's Space Station or Lucent. Something tells me it'll be Lucent. If a team like Lucent allows Regal Reserve to get away with the same type of individual skill and behavior.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I mean, the Regal Reserve aggression, it works so well in EU. Once you have teams that play that slower, more passive gameplay that I would suggest Aerox should stick to, that perhaps are better at that, the NA teams, that play style. At that point, it does get a little bit more difficult, a little bit too predictable with Regal running around shotgun heavy. Commiserations, of course, to Aerox. Speaking about them, they were so consistent this event. Definite improvement, huge improvement over previous ones. A little bit of a roster change, of course. Ashen's joining. It was Godfax previously, so shout out to them for actually building up the relative chemistry to get them to this point. But in the end, they look shaky on Reclaimed compared to the previous maps, and very well played Regal to take advantage of that.
Agreed. You got to give your hats off to Regal. And again, this squad, keep in mind, Ashen's joined the team a week ago. Sam left for holiday a week ago, so they didn't have the time to prepare. They didn't have the time to put into mesh, and still they came out and gave a pretty good showing. They beat Regal in pool play, of course, barely lost in that match. So my hat definitely goes off to Aerox. Condolences to them. They will be taking home a 4th place finish, which still, in the grand scheme of things, is in the prize money. They are still a top 3 seed in Europe have a chance to go to San Diego if they keep that same roster. We'll see how things end up shaking up from a seeding standpoint. But with that being said, Regal Reserve advances to the losers bracket final. The Cinderella story, the team on fire, will continue to fight through the bracket. Meanwhile, we have Lucent Esports going up against a red-hot Space Station GG on main stage in just a bit. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. We'll be back with some more Gears of War action in just a bit.